Hello, everyone. It's good to see ya. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's a different one today. Something that I didn't even know I was doing last night. Well, really, all of it I didn't know I was doing last night, let's be honest. But if you guys didn't know, the POSCON invite-only beta started today. And so today I'm taking the opportunity to, we're going to go through how it works, how the features are, the flight plan dispatch process. Hey, Ground Point Niter, thank you for the 8-month resub. I really appreciate it. It's really kind of you to do. I hope you're doing fantastic today. And thanks for the host as well. Hey, Brian, thanks for the 31 months at tier 3. And no problem on that. Thanks again for doing that. I appreciate it, man. It's good to see you. Hey, Valarius, I will explain POSCON in just a second, but it's good to see you too. Yeah, don't worry about it, Brian. Thank you so much. So yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys what POSCON is right now. It's like I said, it's currently in a beta. We're going to go through the flight planning process. It's a little more elaborate than you're probably used to on other networks. And we're going to also, we have a special guest today, guys. He has been around the stream for a while. You know him in chat as Elusive Napkin, and he's been hanging around here for a while. But I thought that to give you an idea of what the voice codec on POSCON sounds like, it's fantastic, by the way. But you'll get to hear that that we could fly together on the network and give you an idea for what the voice codec sounds like. So Zach, welcome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Julie.
Let me know if you guys can hear him okay. But we'll get into it in a minute. I just want Zach, if you could like explain your background and like what you do.
Yeah, so I'm currently a first officer at UPS on the 757 and the 767. Been doing that for about 3 years and been flying professionally for about 16 years at the airlines. So that's where I'm at right now. A couple of things in between that we can talk about later.
All right, yeah, thank you for that, Zach. Let me check in with who's here. What's up, GZ07? You're a freaking legend. GZ07, I just want to let you know, your freaking A330 review is a legend, and I wish you would come back. Even if you only made like one meme review every 3 months, it would make me happy. I just want to let you know that it's important to me that you hear that. So thanks for coming. Digital Engineer, it's good to see ya. How's it going? What's up, Captain Flowers? It's good to see ya. Hey, Syncrate, how are you? Hey, Insulated Panda, yes, so you can sign up to be in the invite pool for when more invites go out. Yeah, that is something you can do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how it all works. So first of all, you have the client, which looks kind of like the other clients you're probably used to. But it interfaces with something else that I'll show you in a second. But in general, it's pretty similar. One of the big differences with POSCON that might not be as obvious even when you get to hear the voice codec, but that is that it has automatic gain control. So no more like if someone's really loud into VATSIM, you know, like the ATC is quiet and the one of the pilots talking is like way too loud, it will automatically compensate for that and balance the audio out. So it's not really something that you'll be able to tell probably from this stream, but maybe from other streams or just like over time you'll get more experiences with that. But that is something really cool that they're doing. But if you have like vPilot or whatever already installed and you have the AI models, you don't have to do anything to put them in the POSCON client. They're already here. I installed it and they're already here, so you don't have to do anything there. So yeah, this looks very familiar. You put your type code in and your airline code and you connect. But then there's another part, and that's the actual POSCON client. So I'm going to show what that looks like. So I'm going to launch the client. So you'll see it's going to load here. It checks for updates and then starts. It's pretty flashy. Yeah, no worries, GZ. What's up, CC? How are you? Good to see you. All right, so this is the POSCON sort of like home screen. The from what I know, the website is pretty similar, but what this is doing is you run the client and this together for everything to function. So there's a bunch of different tabs. I'm going to show more of the tabs later because they're not really important. Um, and the live map, I will show that after we're all connected because I want to show what that looks like for you guys. But I'm going to show you how we're gonna go through the flight planning dispatch. So I'm going to go into, so you click this 3 dots button. It brings you to the sub menu, and then you go to settings. Or not settings, sorry. You go to pilots and then flight plans. That's right. So we'll do that here. Okay, so it will show you like all of the current flight plans history. And that UPS 804 is Zach. Like I said, he's going to be flying with us, but we're going to make our own. So we'll go in here. And this is a little bit more in depth than you guys are probably used to. You'll see that in a sec. It'll be more obvious. You might go whoa. Yeah, CC, I'm excited too. No worries. Do your thing. So so some of it's like pretty standard. You know, you put in your call sign, so we're UPS 804. If you guys didn't see that, we're doing Louisville to Denver, by the way. So the cruise is going to be longer than normal. That's so that we have like time to you have time to chat with Zach and I and all that. So we'll make that longer. So we'll do our aircraft type, Boeing 748. These little information bubbles give you more information on like how to fill out a field so that you can get that done. So it gives you examples of ICAO terminology there. The cool thing is it automatically knows what wake turbulence category I'm in. I'm a heavy aircraft, so it puts heavy as my category. So this is where Zach and I are gonna work together a little bit. So for the ICAO equipment code, so Zach, so I have all of these options here. I have like GBAS and ACARS and CPDLC and all this stuff. So what is on a 747? Because it seems a little overwhelming, wouldn't you say?
It is a lot, and you know, I would just explain that first of all, this is different from the FAA equipment code that you're used to putting in. This is basically a long string of text that would be in an international flight plan that allows air traffic control and flight planning systems around the world to know what routes and procedures you're capable of flying. And most of the systems will do it cross-check so that they don't give you something you can't do, right? So it's just basically a laundry list of everything on the plane because not all 747s are created equal. So yeah, you can just kind of go through there if you want, and I can give you the more common ones. I'll say that, because some of these I don't even know what they are, to be completely honest. I don't know who has Loran C anymore.
Okay, let's do that. Guys, just let me know if you can hear Zach, okay, just to make sure we're good to go, but let's go through it. So there's VHF, RTF, there's like S, A, B, C, and D, which says there's like DME, LORONC, LPV.
Yeah, so VHF, RTF, you've got that, and we've got VORs and ILSs.
Okay.
So you can click the S. GBAS, I have no idea what that is. LPV is localizer performance, which is something that business jets have. It's really new. We don't have that because we don't have wide area augmentation.
Okay.
Loran C is an old marine navigation system from the days before US that we don't have, but we do have DME, so you can do DME.
Okay.
See, ACARS wise, you know, that can be a dime a dozen. I would go with E3 PDC. That's kind of because you've got that capability to receive a pre-departure clearance via ACARS.
Okay.
747s don't have ADF. We do have GNSS. We do have HF receive and transmit capability. We do have an INS, but it's updated by GPS, so we don't actually file that we have INS.
Okay.
We file GNSS. That's kind of the two options there. I don't know with all those other fans 1A. I can tell you we have fans 1A, and you'll go down to Iridium for
Okay.
under the 1A. That's just the satellite type of radio that you have. We don't have microwave landing system, but we do have ILS.
That's old, isn't it?
The microwave landing system, yeah, it was actually not even like widely used. You know, they it was a test, I think, that never really took off before RNAV became more popular.
Okay.
And then Iridium again for the RTF SATCOM. Actually, for that one, it would be MRSAT. And
Okay.
I'll explain that one a little bit. MRSAT for SATCOM is just a way that if you're in a foreign country and sometimes the radios aren't super reliable, you can call them on the satellite comm and they'll just answer. Like when we would fly into China, you have to give them a call ahead of entering and they'll answer and they'll say, "Hey, Kunming Control, who is this?" And you just tell them your call sign and what you're squawking, and then they'll get you on radio when they can.
Oh, okay.
It's kind
Interesting.
of cool. Probably more than you needed to know, but yeah. So we got VORs. You can do CPDLC on the RCP. 240, I think, is what's more common with the airlines.
Okay.
We don't have PBN. That's performance, or well, you have a form of PBN. I don't worry about that. TACAN, that's military. UHF, that's military. But we do have VHF, RTF. And I think, yeah, 8.33 and RVSM, obviously, and MNPS, which is like minimum navigation performance. It's like North Atlantic tracks, basically, so you can fly really close together in non-radar without monitoring.
But not VHF 8.33.
We do have 8.33 spacing. That's basically like you can tune your radios to 133.33, which is sort of like a European thing. So they
Okay.
get more frequencies. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's like it looks like it's almost the entire list. But it's not. There's still somehow more of them.
Yeah, and I think the surveillance and the RMP capabilities have a long list.
Yeah, so there's a lot here, but this is probably the type
Yeah, I
that
wouldn't.
most people are familiar with.
I'm not going to attempt to go through those. You have mode S and you have ADS out. That's the big thing that you need to know. There's a new requirement in US that you have to have ADS out, but you don't have to have ADS in. And
Okay.
somebody made a comment in the chat. Insulated Panda said, his Piper. Yeah, the GA planes frequently have a lot more technology than big airliners for weather and for traffic avoidance and everything. So, go figure.
I think you're a little low. Let me fix that here.
I could turn myself up too if I need to.
All right, you're probably fine now. I probably have AD. He says I probably have ADSC.
Yeah, he might be right about that. I'm honestly not familiar enough to know how they. Yeah, ADSC. That's that fan stuff. Yeah, yeah. I think that sounds familiar.
Hey, what's up, Andrew? All right, we'll get moving. So we have the route, so we're not gonna spend a lot of time on that because that's like pretty familiar. You guys, you fill your route out, but I think I need to set my time to like soon after. We'll set cruising speed to 480 true, but you have to type it in as N0480. The level is 3. What did we say we're doing? 3.8. What did you file?
36, I think.
Oh, you filed 36. Okay. And then the route's gonna be from flight aware there. Invalid route. Okay, so sometimes you have to click in and out of the boxes for it to work, and then it's all good. So we're going to Denver, so I'll put that in there. It estimates the time, which I think is nice. I did find that a little surprising. Figured that was like not automatic, but it is. We don't have special handling, but that's an option that you can select. So what about RNP?
RMP, we have RMP 4 for sure.
Uh-huh.
That's like the Hawaii routes is the most common routes that require RMP 4. And now
Yep.
Andrew's in here. He can correct me if I'm wrong about any of this. As far as RNAV 5, you can do all. We have all
Okay.
the capability for RNAV. And we have all for RNAV 2 and for RNAV 1.
And what about RNP and RNP approach
So
and
for
stuff like that?
RNP, we have all for RNP, and we can do the first RNP approach without baronav. Yeah, we have RNP 0.3, but that's not an en route function. So they're asking for the en route RMP capability that you have. We do have RMP 0.3, so that's covered later down there where the non-baro RMP for the approach function for terminal stuff.
Wait, did I crash the client? This did not happen last time. What happened? Okay. I wonder if it filed and then did not come back to me. Let's see what happens when I come back here. Yeah, you have RNP. Of course you have RNP 0.3. Why wouldn't you have RNP 0.3?
But that's not every airliner, like he was saying. It's our Airbus 300s. They can't do RMP 0.3 approaches.
Oh, so it didn't file or it did file? Yeah, okay. So I guess I have to do it again. I wonder what happened. I did it before and it was okay, but that's weird. I think that's okay. I think I know what to do for that. I don't think we need to go through it again. That's okay. Known bug, go to the website. No, yeah. All right, so LPV, DME, or no, we don't have LPV, but we have DME, PDC, GNS, Emersat. You said it was Emersat for all of that?
It's Iridium for the other one and Emersat for the art.
Hey guys, chili shades, chili shades,
Okay.
chili shades, chili shades.
Hey, what's up, Ben? How are you? It's good to see ya. Hope you're doing well, man. Okay. So RCP 240, PBN, VHF, RVSM, VHF 8.33. And then I needed L and ADSC.
Yeah, I think
And
that's what it said.
then, okay. And then departure has to be like 15 or 20 minutes from now. Do 480 knots. We'll see how it goes going west though, because we might get griefed hard by the weather. But last time I tried to go west, it took an extra like 25 minutes for like an hour and a half flight. So
Winds have been killer.
like they've been good for you.
Not if you're going west.
No, not if you're going west. Yeah.
My thing, yes, 227 is what I came up with for the flight.
Okay.
It's practically a long haul for you.
It.
Inflate Panda, yeah, we're doing the conversion right now. They're not all done, but we're about halfway through.
I'll spit 2.5 hours for that. Okay, so RNP was RNP 4 all, and then was it
Yep.
all for like all of them?
All. Yep.
Okay. And then was it RNP with Barrow or non-Barrow?
Without the first one, S1,
Okay. And
and
then
then T1.
okay. And then endurance. What did you put for endurance?
I looked. Our block fuel, our takeoff fuel was 321 for my calculations, but I'm in a 400 during the dash 8, so it's probably like 3.5 hours, something like that, safe.
Okay. Okay, we're not. Did you put anything for overwater? Just to put it there? Just
Well, we're
put.
not. We're a 4-engine plane, so there's no ETOPS. Well, there technically is, but I didn't put.
Okay.
I guess you can put EOW because I think that stands for extended over water. So it's not ETOPS, but you are extended over water.
All right, so we got it. So after you file your flight plan, it will give you all of the facilities that it's filed with. So now we're gonna show you guys how you can actually connect. So you connect in the client, but then you connect somewhere else. So I'll show you how that works. We'll go to the other parts later, but so if you come in here, we'll show you the ADIS stuff. It's kind of neat. Let me check my volumes for this as well here. Make sure that I'm not going to get blasted by that. The launcher volume, where is that? Add that somewhere. Engines turn or passengers swim. Is that what it means? Okay. I just learned something new apparently. I don't think that's what they call it, but sure. Okay, maybe it's fine. Maybe I'm not going to get blasted. Okay. So basically what you do after you've done your flight plan is you go to the web UI and then you go to ATC and then you can put in your information to log on. So we'll log on with the call sign that we filed for. And it will send the request. And then what's cool about this is that we actually get our squawk code. Wait, what the heck? What happened? File a flight plan for a squawk code. Didn't I just file a flight plan? Or did I type my call sign in wrong? What was my DOF? I might have typed the call sign in wrong when I logged on. Okay, let's see what it gives me here. I might have typed in a 4 instead of a 2. Yeah, no. Why is that doing that? What was my what's DOF, AJ? Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm getting that. It worked last time. 0245. What's wrong with that? I need to wait. Well, I was told you were supposed to give a time that had long enough after you filed so that you could actually, it didn't expire. So, okay. Should I just redo it again? What's up, the Rav? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. but that's not what I heard. Unless you're talking about the launcher. This is the launcher. The client is the client. But I didn't have problems with it yesterday, so I presume that that happens.
Mine worked fine. Maybe you're not close enough to departure time to get the squawk.
Yeah, maybe not. But I thought, well, it's weird because before I set the time for later, and it didn't matter. So I think what I should do is I should do pre-flight and then I should connect. So I'm gonna pre-flight the airplane and then we'll connect. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, did I put it? Oh, it's just 1 hour. So is that why it was like 2:33? Because I'm UTC -7, so. Hey, what's up, Brett? How are you? Flight plans are good for 90 minutes in the real system. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this all up and running here. So let's get some fuel and such in here. Put like 92,000. You know what I find interesting though about flight planning is you don't put the weight in, but I guess that's because that's on the I guess that's not part of a different process that doesn't apply.
Yeah, your weight. You're talking about as far as the flight plan is concerned with your filing with ATC.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They don't care about your weight.
Okay. Oh, I have ARAC. Wait, isn't ARAC 2004 correct?
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah, it says nav data out of date. That's funny. It just psyched me out. Did you get that too?
Force yours to winter in the sim?
Yeah.
Maybe the date in the sim is conflicted. It's your after the expiration of the ARAC in the sim.
Interesting. Possibly.
It's that thinking hat.
What's up, Jimbo? Hey, John, this is P3D, yeah. You'll know, if it's a 747, it's probably P3D. It's a good way to know. That's how you figure that one out. All right, so we have SDF here. We're gonna go to Denver here. All right, so what did you file for the runway?
35 left.
Okay.
Did you show them the ATIS?
I did not, but I thought I had to connect the network first.
Yeah, should. Yeah, 35 right's closed and they're using 35 left.
Okay.
Which is convenient for this parking spot.
What's up, Iowa Scotsman? All right, so we're using the Apollo 6. And we're gonna go to ENL, SLN. HYS. Where did that? All right, so we have an airway. Hey, what's up, MV Jaws? How you doing? All right. So do you? Okay, so this is a point of interest. Do you guys program your arrival during at this point, or do you wait to do it?
Yeah, for a U.S. flight plan, since it's actually part of the cleared route, we always put it in there because if you lost your FMCs and you went into backup mode, you'd want that all the way in there because if you lose your FMCs, you can't load anything new, basically. So since it's
Okay.
part of the cleared routing, we load it in on the ground before we take.
Okay. Hey, what's up, Steve Sar? Thanks for the 9-month resub. I appreciate it. Yes, you'll get to see and hear more of it, Steve, in just a little bit here. We're just doing our pre-flight, and then we're gonna log on. All right. So, what did you figure out the runway?
I did 17 right, I think, on the class.
Yeah, let me see what it is. Let me see if I can figure it out. Hey, what's up, Sharks fan? So we're gonna take Clash and yeah, 17 right's what I do, like every single time, because I don't want to taxi across the airport. I'm assuming, is that what you guys do?
You're talking about for departure out of Louisville?
No, for
Oh yeah, we always get what we
landing in
want
Denver.
closest to the
Yeah.
parking. Yeah.
So the only thing it really changes is whether you land from the south on 17 right, or whether you land from the north on 35 left, based on the winds.
Yeah, I mean that's the times we're typically going there at 3:30 in the morning. They don't have much objection unless our runway's.
Cool. Okay. Hey, what's up, Speedy One? I've used PFPX in the past, but Andrew, I do, but I'm kind of doing that. I'm kind of asking that stuff on purpose. I used PFPX in the past because like everyone told me to buy it, and I really don't like the software at all. I'm not a fan of it. All right, what is the transition for that? Let's see. So normally I think, so this is actually weird. So how do you guys figure out the transition for that? Because there's 4 options, but is that something you plan at the end? Like the transition for the approach? Or
for this one, I wouldn't load a transition at all because this is you're flying the downwind, so you're not going to join right into the approach. You're going to be on a heading on a downwind to vector to final. So I don't load a transition for this approach.
Okay, for the star.
Just having the the transition for the star is oath. And
no,
then
yeah,
we're doing the 1-7 transition. Yeah, we don't need a transition onto the approach. Yeah.
Okay.
You could fly the RMP if you wanted, and you could fly transition.
Yeah. We'll figure that out. That's okay. Okay, reserve is like... I got a question for you. So is your guys' reserve, like how much of your total fuel weight is your reserve usually?
We get it off the flight plan, so our company practice is to add the total of the 45-minute reserve plus the alternate burn fuel, whatever that is on the...
Hey, what's up, Scotty? How are you? Biohaz? I will let him answer that for himself, just because.
Oh, hey, Biohaz. Yeah, I used to fly the 7.4, but I'm on the 7.6 now. 7.5. Why are we not flying the 7.6, Will?
Because I don't own the 7.6 because I don't want to pay $92 for the same plane I already bought that has trolled me so many times with like you do the whole flight plan and you start flying and then it just starts spinning you in circles around your magenta line and you look like
Sounds
an
reasonable.
idiot. Yeah, Jaws, the type is the same.
As I'm first officer, I flew the 7 at a different company.
All right, so am I doing 450 for cost index? Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, man, 360 knot climb. You could back it off a little bit. 360 is a little fast. I'd probably do try 300 and see what that gives you.
Okay, but do you want to
Probably should
explain
look
that?
at that myself. Yeah. I guess you mean why we fly so fast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're always, you know, after they get done sorting all the packages, we're trying to get everything to where it's going in time for the drivers to pick it up and get it out to where it needs to go. So when we're going as absolutely as fast as we can all the time, and fuel is not usually our main concern because we don't fly as many block hours as other airlines. So that's not our biggest expense. Our biggest expense is if we don't get stuff there on time. So we fly fast.
Oh, I must have missed something. My V speeds are blank. What is that? Oh, that's weird. I have a data link fail, but I have no clue why. I did the alignment on these. And I did, these are the same. Go back to init and redo it.
Did you get the init done in the ACARs?
Oh, you literally just have to put it in again. Is that a bug, Jeff? I think it's a bug. It only happens sometimes. It's like really random too. It's like it's hard to replicate to an extent because it's random. All right, so we got that. So all the V speeds just show up. Okay, so we can put the V speeds in. Did you actually be honest with me? This is an honesty check. Did you do the whole OAT and wind and everything? Or were you just like, F it, I don't care?
Oh, nobody puts that in.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I thought like you were supposed to do this.
No. We don't.
Wow, the truth comes out. All right, well, I'm gonna do that now, and then every time someone asks me, I'm gonna say, check your sources. Oh, it makes my day. I don't like doing that.
No, it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't? So what's the point of it?
I mean, I think it used to do stuff with. I'd be BSing you if I tried to give you a good answer as to what it does. I really don't. I don't know. I know we don't use it.
Oh, I'm gonna feature biohazard. AJ, thanks for being helpful. I appreciate it. Do you want to answer Biohazard's question? I'll put it on screen here.
Oh yeah, it's actually I find it to be really good. I mean, I'm not. You know, where you get into systems with these airplanes is, you know, when you start getting into abnormalities, you know, when hydraulic systems fail and the kind of stuff that breaks. And I mean, that is not what I've ever considered to be a good time when I'm at home. So I don't usually mess with a lot of engine failures and stuff. So I don't know a lot about all that, but as far as the daily flying, it works good.
Yeah, no, we've got Zach. We have a guest on. It's all good. If I was just saying thanks for your help with the POSCON stuff. All right, so let's try and reconnect again here. And see if we get a squawk. Oh no. Okay. What happened? Okay, still not getting it. I wonder if I typed the call sign in wrong. I'm a bug. You know what though, AJ? I'm a known bug catcher. I found a major bug in the 748 when it released, so I'm honestly not shocked this is happening to me on stream because that's when it happened to me with the 748. I'm just like the lucky bug catcher, honestly. So it's honestly, I'm not even mad. It's kind of amusing. Zach, if you want to answer,
Oh yeah. I absolutely love the 757. It's the funnest airplane ever. Seven four is great. It's no slouch. And the 7.6 is great, but 7.5 is a little rocket.
Wait, AJ, what do you want me to put here? It's I mean, I never got a squawk code, so I don't understand what I'm putting here. Oh, it goes in here. Right here. Okay. What's up, radar contact? Thanks. Okay. Yeah, I did it the other way before and it was fine, so I'm doing things that I didn't do last time. I went through it all, but all the quirks are making it look like I didn't do any preparation, so it's kind of funny. Okay. So I should connect now? Okay. Try it one more time here. Okay. All right, we got it. All right. Clap in the chat. It worked. It's actually cooperating now. We're living.
I'm so proud of you.
I know, thank you. All right. So should be so we are connected. So the whole time you leave this open. So I'll do a quick go over. We've been kind of on the ground for a while, so we'll get flying in just a short while, but I just want to go over a few things here really quick. So I'll talk about ghosting later. But this is the radios tab, so you can control anything on your airplane with the radios in here. So if I hit the mic button here and I type in the radio, what frequency are you on?
24.2 is the CTAF here.
Okay. So if I type in 24.2, then it will go in here, and that's all I have to do. So that is already done. Obviously you can still do all the radio stuff in the actual VC, but you can, or with your panels or whatever that you have, but you can change all of that here. I'll show you guys more of it later. I don't know what you mean by that, Speedy One. I've already I think we're good to go now. All right, so what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna switch over to the APU. And we're going to disconnect from the ground here. So we can go ahead and get moving. I'm going to sync all these up to be the same. And I don't actually need to push back, so I'm not going to, even though that's something I normally do. But it's the way that we're facing. We don't need to do that. So you guys can see Zach's over here, right next to us. And the smaller, ironically smaller airplane, but he's over here. You guys will get to see the, it's classic. Yeah, that's true. It is true. But you guys will get to see the smoothness of it in just a bit here. So I'm just going to start up right now. Let's start these engines. Let's go. What do you think of the 787? If you're talking to Zach, then I think you're talking to Zach. Yeah, the 744 is smaller than... I'm in the 748. MB Jaws.
What do I think of the 787? I mean, I like flying on it. I'm sure it's a great plane to fly. I'd love to get a chance to do it.
Don't BS. We all know that you don't want to be flying 12-hour legs. We all know that. No one wants to do that. Let me check this. Oh yeah. All right, let's do that. Otherwise, it's gonna complain. And you switch these cross feeds off. You don't use those if you're not using the other stuff here. What's up, Kurt? How are you? What's up, Wise? Yeah, you guys get a kick out of that. Do you guys ever think that I just do stuff on purpose for your entertainment? You ever think that one through? Alright, what's the SID altitude for this? Let me grab that.
5.
Alright, doing Apollo. Hey, what's up, Nico? How's it going, bro? It's good to see ya. Yeah, it is 5,000. You're right. I'm surprised by that, but okay. Nico, I'm doing good. I hope you're well. I hope your family's well. So we're gonna take 3.5 left, so it's 350. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys something really quick. So, part of the reason that we're actually down here is because this is the Boeing 748 taxi routes. And so none of these ramps comply. So it's actually, we actually need to be down here in this airplane. So that's why we're down here. I guess that doesn't apply to Zach's plane, but it applies to mine, so... Oh, really? Yeah. I'm kind of basically at the same point, Nico. So I get it. I haven't like I've gone out like once in the last 3 weeks to like go to the store once or something. That's it. So I totally feel for you, man. Let me turn my dynamic lighting on so that I don't know if that's gonna ghost me or not. Okay, it won't. Alright, so it is on. It's just that it's too bright to see. Our AP is off. Is there anything else here? I need packs on. I need flaps 10. What flaps do you guys normally do? I know
7.4
my
is usually 10 unless you need 20.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to check. All right, I'll set the barrow there. Wait for the flaps to come down here. I'm gonna turn down the sim a little bit, and we're gonna get moving, guys. We'll get flying. You get to see it, and we'll do some radio work so you guys can hear it too.
I was actually curious about that. If Andrew was here, should we be hearing the audio version of the digital ATIS as well?
Oh yeah, I will show that. Let me show that really. Thanks for reminding me. I'll show that really quick, even though I got everything I needed to. So you can go and get the ATIS from the flight information for departure and arrival. You just select the airport, so I'll just do it for where we are right now. Doesn't matter really, just showing that. So it'll give you a message. It's important to note that in the current stage, you can't, it won't save the message if you leave this tab, but you can just get the ATIS again, so. But yeah, there it is. It gives you the full ATIS for Louisville here. What's up, nice plane bro? So, for those of you asking about POSCON, POSCON is a next generation flight sim network that's currently in closed beta. It's been in the works for a few years now, but they've made a lot of progress with it. So invites go out like when they're ready for more people, but it's important that if you're not signed up on the website that you sign up so that you can be part of that pool of people. A321, we've been kind of just answering some of them as like we've been doing pre-flight and figuring some and getting through some quirks. So if you want to throw something, I can feature it on screen. We can talk about it. But are you ready to go? You're probably way faster than me because you didn't have any problems with the.
Waiting on you, man. Let's do it.
Okay, so I will roll out here, take the parking brake out, put the seatbelt sign on. You guys have to turn the seatbelt sign on, right? Or no? Do you guys not care?
If there's jump seaters, you're supposed to, because they're back out of the cockpit.
Yeah, that's true, right? Alright, when's my turn? What's that? When are you gonna bring me out to Louisville? And
if only it worked that way.
all right, A321's got a question for you. I'll hold short. You can answer it, and then we'll take off. And
you
then
keep going. I'm gonna go up the. I'm gonna stay on this side of the runway so you can see me taxiing on the other side.
Oh, okay.
I'm not restricted.
So do you want to take off in front of me?
Sure.
So people can see the.
What was he asking? Why the 748 or the 744? They're both great. I mean, I flew the Dash 8s when they first came out. I was at Atlas before UPS and got to fly both. They're both great airplanes. The Dash 8s got a lot more upgraded avionics and stuff, obviously, so it makes a lot of things easier. But it's they're both great airplanes. I mean, there's no downsides to the 747 other than the cockpit's a little small and it's very loud.
Right, Gorian. I will get to your question. If I don't get to it after takeoff, there's just a few points I want to go over. Just ask again, and I would be happy to. Nico, I have a package that was supposed to be delivered today, but never showed up. Where the hell is it? Oh no.
It's probably still over in Newark, Nico.
Oh man. All right, so I'm at the end here, so I'll wait for you to depart, and then I'll follow behind you. That's logistics, not him. Yeah.
Out of habit, I was going to a little further north because I couldn't get to the runway, so I'm going to come back on Charlie. But I see a purple plane coming the other.
Oh yeah, who is that? What's this FedEx doing here? We're getting trolled or something? The battle of the cargos? Yeah, what's with that? But I'll show you guys something while we're waiting for Zach to get on the runway here. So there's it does show, I believe, like most of the lights, if they have their lights on and stuff like that as well. You can see those here. I'm guessing the 777 has the power advantage. I mean, probably, right? But I don't know. I mean, it probably has. I don't know if it's is it power advantage, or is it efficiency advantage, or like weight versus you know, weight to thrust ratio kind of thing.
Louisville traffic, FedEx 1 Boeing 777 is behind UPS 747
Oh, is there someone behind me? Or is that you, Zach? Oh, I think there's someone behind me.
One Chili, or do I need to go here on Bravo 2?
Well, I am at the end, and there's someone behind you, so.
Well, just go ahead and go, unless you want me to go first.
I think we should. I think we should just. I guess for the point of traffic, I should just go.
Yeah, just roll.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna call here. Louisville traffic UPS 802 on 35 left, departing now. Probably not exactly right, but go with it. All right. Let's go flying, guys. All right, we got 80 knots. V1, rotate. I don't know if I had like asymmetric input there or what was the deal. Alright, positive rate, gear up. Oh, I think it's rudder input, not what I thought it was. Alright, so gear is up. Start trying to follow this flight director here. Wow, it really wants me to climb a lot. How fast do you guys normally climb? I mean, it seems like it's really wanting me to just go for it here.
Yeah, go for it, man. Pitch for the speed, and that's it.
Oh, MV Jaws has a question for you. I will feature that here if you didn't see it. Hey, Kythrick, thanks for the 8-month resub. Appreciate that, man. It's good to see you.
Oh, the MD-11. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun to fly that. I've ridden on it a lot, but never gotten a chance to fly it. We're getting more of them, so I may have a chance.
It's okay. The reason that he wants...
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
I was just going to joke that the reason he wants to fly the MD-11 is because PMDG makes it so he can't. Feels bad, man.
Right. Nope, never flown the 777. Nice plane, bro. Never been anywhere that had them yet.
Yeah, UPS doesn't operate them, unfortunately. But I think there's a reason for that, right?
Yeah, the way the 777's got a really big wingspan, and Louisville's a little more space constrained. Is the reasons we've been told, and they also have aft loading cargo doors, which is kind of out of for the planes that we can have that park on the actual wings. Doesn't work that way for us, but everybody would like to have them. It seems like it'd make a lot of sense, but you know, we don't get to buy the airplanes.
Yeah, I know that PMDG doesn't have the right to remake it, but we still blame them anyway, because they could have made their own from scratch probably somehow. We just need Rotate to finish theirs. Like, what the heck? Apparently, but they're making progress. They just released those screenshots. That was cool. I'm happy about that. All right, NATO wants to know what cost index you guys use.
It varies. Usually for domestic flying, which is what I fly domestic on the 7576, and our most common cost index is probably 450. We always go, which is actually, it programs numbers that are faster than we normally want to fly. But as a general, we generally climb at 320 knots, cruise at 82, and descend at 320 knots. But we always fly a lot faster than you'd find from the commercial
Low traffic FedEx 1 Boeing
airlines.
777 departing 35 left to the west on Apollo 6 departure.
Rigorian, I see your question there. Yeah, PMDG is hands down the best 7, no contest.
Yes, Mr. UPS has a name, but his name's Zach. But if you weren't here, then that's okay. I forgive you. Don't worry about it. Right, Gorian, you're asking me what do I want to test? I don't know. I just want to help, like, as I like to joke that I'm a supreme bug catcher, the famous CMOS battery bug catcher, and so if I can help, like, make the launch better, then that's what I would like to do. What about SSG Kappa? Oh no. So hey Zach, can you do me a favor? So guys, what I want to do is I want you to hear more of the codec. You heard a little bit of it, but I'm gonna have are you flying already? Are you like behind me?
Yep.
Okay, so I want people to like hear more of the codec. So can you answer Gammon's question on frequency, and we can see if it works. You are tuned to 124.2 still.
Yeah, you want to go to 2345 and do it?
Okay, sure. Can you hear me? I tuned to 2345. Could you hear me or no?
Yep. You didn't hear me?
No, but it might be my fault. One sec.
It's the nice plane, bro. Pay rates for cargo versus passengers about the same. I mean, if you take Delta, American, United, FedEx, and UPS, they're all in the same ballpark.
Oh, AJ says you should check your transmit receive to make sure it's set correctly.
Yeah, they are. I'm selected COM 1 and 23.5 on 45 on COM 1.
Can you try again?
Yep. Can you hear me here?
Yes, I can.
Awesome.
What's up, Captain Hall? It is the fabled POSCON.
Looks like we got some traffic on this frequency.
Yes, we do. Hello. $340 at 11,000. What do you have to say to that?
I say, why can't you do 340 at 11,000?
Oh, so can you answer Gammon's question on frequency? I put it on screen. If you, do you ever work a trip to come home and fly on the sim for fun? Did you hear that, Zach?
Yeah, you didn't hear me? It's
No.
like it's intermittent on the.
Yeah.
I wonder if that mute push to mute is having some.
Did you set it in Discord or in Windows?
Discord.
Okay.
So I'll answer it here and we can work on that. I only flight sim when I had a lot of time off, and I don't fly that much on flight sim, I would say. But I do ATC. That's fun for me. I enjoy that. But I've been on VATSIM for 20 years, SATCO before, and POSCON for 7 hours.
Okay, so Nice Plane wants to know how you stop the brakes from overheating on the 747 when you land.
Well, the big key is letting the auto brakes do their work until you get slow, you know, because they're carbon brakes, and the auto brakes will do a good job of applying even pressure to the brakes, and that kind of helps them from overheating. Sometimes you're so heavy you can't really help it, but you know, anything less than a 5 is considered good on the 7.4 if you're, depending on how long the runway is, and you're letting the auto brakes do their job to about 80 knots or so.
What's up, NT342? Yeah, the audio it's on its own. I'm in a call with Zach so that we can do this as well, but the client is all its own thing, like the server, the voice, and all that. It's all its own deal. Are yellow ceramic brakes an option on the 747?
Now that would be nice, Nico.
So Nico, the reason I'm almost redlining is because, according to Zach, this is what they actually do all the time. Do they do this on the 7.4 too?
Oh yeah. Are you flying at what 355?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the AMG 747, I think, Nico, the AMG block.
Yeah, it's 250 or lower under 10,000. I mean, it's not likely someone's going to crank out 90 more knots in a climb within 1,000 feet. Well, it is a 747, so... Yeah, that's true. What's up, Flyboy787? How are you? AJ, thanks for hanging, man. So no, I'm not rushing, Nico. I'm going the speed that they go in the real world. Yeah, where are you, Nico? Nico, where are you in the simulator, bro? Oh, Nico, did you not get the sim moved? Get the 2 other pilots to transmit simultaneously. Oh, you want a demo blocking? And not just the codec? Can I see pics
Let me
of the
check
bunker?
if mine's working here on 2345.
Okay. Oh, you want me to demo multi-frequency monitoring? I mean, it works, but like, I'm pretty sure that it does work, but I haven't had a need for it.
Yeah, so I'm set up perfectly on 2345 with TXRX on VHF1 and tuned, and I checked it. I mean, it worked once.
Yeah,
but,
it did work once.
I haven't changed anything.
Are you too far away? How far away are you? I think you're right in front of me,
5
right?
miles behind you.
Yeah, it's not that. Does CPDLC work? I don't think it's like fully implemented yet. Like it sort of like is there in a way that like you get your squawk code without talking to a controller first. But like you file your flight plan like I showed earlier, and then you get your squawk from the system. But there's not like full CPDLC. Like there's messages, but they go away. So like I'll show you guys that. So you can get the ATIS, the DATIS, and stuff. Oh, okay. So you can get the DATIS and stuff. Okay, let's see. From the, from this here, so like I can get it for Denver here, and then it will give it to me. What's up, Hulkmania? How's it going? So it gives me the ATIS here, and then I can also get the weather request too. So I can get like NOTAM. I think I don't know if this works yet. I think only some of this works right now. So you can get the weather for 2 places. A321 Zach flies the 757 and 767 for UPS. What's up, Krusty? How are you? Yeah, terminal and forecast. So I can show it for our flight here. But right now, once you leave this page, the message is clear, but it's going to be server side at some point, so it won't do that anymore. But yeah, you can get the TAF here for these. And then they go in here until you clear the page here. Oh, what's the heaviest payload you've had?
Yeah, I typed it in text. You know,
Oh,
in the 7.4, we're always like really, really heavy, especially out of Asia coming back into the U.S. And we did everything in kilograms. At Atlas, so I was trying to think. I know we were always around 950 to 980 gross takeoff weight in pounds. So I would say our payload was probably 350, something like. The thing about those flights, you end up the plane fills up with volume before it can actually be weighted out. So that's typically what happens with these kind of flights.
Oh, did you fly the BLCF?
Yeah, we flew the. You mean the Boeing plane? Yeah, we flew all those out of Payne Field for the Boeing contract for the 787, the LC.
Insulated Panda wants instrument check right advice.
Oh, yeah, that was my favorite rating. I loved it. Best thing I could say is to take your time and make sure you're set up before you start doing anything and get some good sleep. But it'll be chill. Those are always really chill as long as you're, you win them over in the pre-flight. So.
Zesty, POSCON is it's currently an invite only closed beta ATC network. It doesn't have ATC running yet. That's in development. But the idea is we're gonna kind of we've heard the codec a few times already, but we're kind of gonna give you an idea of what it sounds like and some of the features. So I'll kind of get into some of this now. So if you guys are like completely unfamiliar, so you can see this thing called ghosting here. So what ghosting is basically like when you're on VATSIM and you're flying and you want to step away, you can ghost yourself. If you're in a controlled airspace, you have to ask to be taken back in, and ghosting basically makes it so you can still fly and hear everything, but you're not shown to other pilots. The controller can technically see you, but you're not a target on radar anymore. So that's what ghosting is. And you can and you automatically get ghosted if you spawn on a runway. That way, like, you can't troll people by spawning on runways. I'll take the message, thank you. Hey, thanks for the dev hello. I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you. Kind of you to do that. You can sleep for days. Yeah, good pre-flight. That's all you need to know, I guess. Sounds like it'd be chaotic. What do you mean, ghosting? Well, the controller chooses whether to like, if someone ghosts themselves when they're in a controlled airspace, they have to be unghosted manually by the controller, and they can decide whether or not they want to unghost you or not. So they can't just like put themselves back in immediately if it's like overwhelming. Yeah, because the idea is to prevent that situation where you have like people that are just like not communicating at all in the airspace, so another thing the controller has to coordinate, I guess, but I don't know. They probably are finding a good way to do that.
Yeah, A321, we're CF6 only on the 7.6s, but the 7.5s, we've got Rolls and Pratt.
Nice Plane wants to know, what's your longest flight ever?
Oh, I think the longest one that I have is probably O'Hare to Hong Kong. I think that's probably
that's really long.
So it's like 16.8, something like.
Yeah, you went. That's why you left the 7.4, right? You were tired of that.
It carries too much gas.
But it's not because you needed to flight sim more.
No, it is not because of that. And I also changed jobs.
Yeah, that's true. You did. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the? Do you want to talk about the Dreamlifter? Talk about like the Dreamlifter stuff a little bit.
Yeah, that's a weird airplane. The interesting thing about the Dreamlifter is it has no APU because they have to swing the tail, so they couldn't have one there. So it's kind of a pain in the neck that way because you have to always use external air and everything to start it, and you don't have any air conditioning. So in the summertime in Nagoya, Japan, you don't have any air conditioning, and the 747's windows don't open, so it get really hot up there. And it was also really loud because, the 747 has 3 packs, and the pressure bulkhead on the LCF stops just aft, probably 12 feet after the cockpit. And so you got 3 packs pushing air all into that tiny space, and it's just it's a really loud rush of white noise. And so those flights from Painfield to Nagoya, which you're empty because you're going over there to pick something up, there's like 10.5 hours, and it's long. I didn't really care to fly the LCF very much.
Yeah, guys, if you were curious about ghosting, Joe put some details there about it in chat, so I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. I know you guys are busy working on the network, but it's cool that you guys stopped by. So thanks for that. See if I missed something here.
Favorite airport? Chicago O'Hare. It's home.
Yeah. I like O'Hare a lot too. That's why I spent 45 hours writing a report on in like a week. That was a bad idea, but it was worth it. Let's see if I missed anything in chat here.
The LCF didn't really handle much differently. It wasn't as fast. It had lower maximum Mach number. I think we flew at like 8.4. Was about as fast as we could fly in the LCF, if I remember.
So, I mean, is that because of payload, or is that just like, you know, differences in
big bulb sitting on the back of it? Yeah, it's just the design of it.
Zesty, this one's a little longer than normal on purpose. So this one is we got some time on this one, I think. Yeah, a little bit. But we're doing pretty fast because of the cross index we're doing, so this flight's probably an hour and a half, a couple hours at least. So if you guys want to stick around,
don't leave this FedEx behind.
How fast are you going? What's your Mach?
0.835.
Oh, we're not. You'll be like 5 minutes behind or something like that, maybe 10.
All right, sounds good. Well, in Denver, you get to enjoy my shitty landing.
Sounds good. Thanks for that. Spent a lot of time at C90 and O'Hare in the towering limit of Chicago. Yeah, right. It's crazy when you look at the master plans because they're so old now. Like, you look at a lot of other airports and they're like very new, or like within the last like 5 to 7 years, and that one is like really old.
Yeah, I'm with AJ. I miss the old runway configurations. It was so fun flying out of there. I mean, and at the time, 5 legs a day in and out of O'Hare was a lot, but it was a lot of fun with all the converging runways that they did.
So do you want to talk about like your kind of like how you got into flying and like your career path and stuff like that?
Yeah, I can give you the Cliffs Notes. I started in high school and got my private in high school. I didn't go to like a big flight school and do all of my ratings. I kind of did them as I could afford them. So I did my instruments during my freshman year of college. Did my CFIs, did the multis, did all that kind of stuff, and flight instructed out in Phoenix and in Las Vegas. I flew Learjets in Fort Lauderdale for a little bit, and then I got hired at Continental Express, the Express Jet, and I worked there for 10 years, a little under 10 years, flying the E-145 out of Houston, Cleveland, Newark, Chicago, Denver, after the merger. I was based in LA when we had a little contract with Delta in 2007, and left there and went to Atlas, and was at Atlas for a little under 5 years. I was a first officer on the 7.6, first officer on the 7.4, then a captain on the 7.6, and then came to UPS, and been here on this same plane for 3 years next week.
I swear you were at UPS longer than that.
No, it's just 2017.
Okay. So, do you want to talk about like controlling, like how you got into ATC?
Yeah. So I think you're being intercepted.
Oh, am I? Oh, hello. All right, we're gonna figure out get some codec, or not codec, refresh rate demoing here going on. Yeah, where's that guy?
Yeah, A321. Yeah, when I did that flight to Hong Kong, we were fairly empty. You can't carry a lot of freight on a leg like that for sure. Exceeding 250 below 10 in the U.S., you don't have to ask. If your minimum clean maneuvering speed is above 250, you're allowed to exceed it on a departure without asking. In other parts of the world, like Germany, they expect you to keep configured with flaps to hold 250 below 10 unless you have some really, really important reason that you need to exceed it. But most everywhere else in the world, if your min clean speed is above 250, you can exceed it without asking.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to make because a lot of people have a misconception that no matter what, you're supposed to stay under 250 knots, but it's really not the case. There's some limited reasons that you wouldn't.
Now, that does not allow you to exceed any speed limit on a SID. So, like, if you look at the O'Hare 5 departure or whatever it is now, it says maintain 250 knots until advised. You cannot exceed that. But just for, like, a regular speed, you can if there's no SID restriction.
I'm getting intercepted. Yeah, where is that guy?
Are you monitoring guard frequency?
No. What's guard?
1.5. Did you not do your introductory CBT, Chili?
I did it, but it was very late, and, you know. You said it was 1215?
Yep.
Okay.
Channel 9. Heck yeah.
Oh, I asked what the guard frequency is in a shorthanded way. Pretty funny, though. I know what guard is, but I just didn't know what the frequency... I couldn't remember what the frequency was. You never use guard on VATSIM. You never do that.
243.0.
Wait, did you just give me something else?
No, I gave you the UHF.
1, 2... What was that?
I'm just joking with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 121.5 for VHF.
Okay. Yeah, McLaren, but how many people use guard? I guess you do, but it's the first I've heard in a while.
Let me try another radio check here on 20. Are you still on 2345 on your left radio?
I can put it back there.
Yeah, so the way you normally do that, you would be on 2345 on the left and 21.5 on the right.
Okay.
Guard on your comp. So you're selected to you're tuning the VHF center.
Oh, I see the problem. Okay, I got it. I thought I had it.
Yeah, you're there now. So if you put that's the VHF left.
Well, it's weird because if I change it and then I change it on there, it's not working.
Okay,
here.
so I'll explain to you a little bit about how this system works. Those are just 3 tuning heads, right?
Okay.
Either one of those 3 can be used to tune the radio. And so when you see that VHF-C, that's the center radio, which would normally be in data for the ACARs.
Okay.
And then on the right one up there, you would tune that to 121.5.
Okay. Okay, so maybe it's something weird with this and how that integrates or something. I don't know. Because I did it on here, but then it like wasn't interacting with this. I don't know.
I see what you're saying. You tuned it via the UI.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like I did something or if it's something weird with the second radio.
It doesn't look like it recognizes the center radio.
Okay, so you're saying now I should hear something,
Well,
but I have to turn mic on to hear that as well, correct?
You have to turn the mic on to transmit on it, but as long as you push the volume knob down and you have the green light on, that means you're listening.
Okay. Got it. Well, regardless of what frequency it's on, I hear something.
For some
now.
reason, I cannot transmit.
Hey, Valarius, no, he doesn't stream. He just hangs out in chat. I keep trying to convince him to stream, because, like, everyone that streams on Twitch with Real Airline Pilot in their title gets, like, instantly famous, but he's like, nah, I'm too cool for that. Alright, you're too cool for that? I don't know if he's trying to transmit.
Yeah, I was trying to, but I can't seem to get it to... It's not coming through.
It could be me. Something
No, I don't think it's...
set up.
I don't think it's you. But there's no transmit light anywhere for me.
23.45.
Was that you?
It's loud and clear on 2345.
I heard that.
Yeah, nobody's hearing me.
What's up, Remix? My left is disengaged? Oh, normally that doesn't normally it doesn't matter, but I'll do it anyway. Jimbo thinks it might be your push to talk. But I thought I heard you there. No? Yeah, I heard the key up as well.
That's interesting. So I got the right audio source selected. Huh.
Yeah, because it's working. But
you can hear me keying up, but you can't hear me transmit.
Yeah. Sharks fans asking if you prefer short or long hauls.
I like them both. I mean, I really enjoy doing like 3 quick flights and the 7.5. You know, we have a lot of duty periods that's like that out of Philadelphia. But, you know, sometimes a nice 6 or 7 hour flight can be nice.
Chili, look to your left.
Chili was here? Who's that?
Look to your left. I think I'm too far in front of you now. Oh, there I am.
No, I see you there. So yeah, you guys. UPS 804 here's or 802 here's loud and clear.
804, thanks.
That is you guys can see the refresh rate. It's really smooth. It's super smooth. Like there's no like jitter or anything.
Oh, AJ, you're asking about the crew rest area on the 7.4. It's really nice. It's basically on the Dash 8. It's 6, you know, kind of, you can imagine like modern day domestic business class seats. That's how the 7.4-8 is set up, and then the 400s have four seats on the upper deck. It's really nice setup. It's kind of like a flying RV. Nice sized galley with an oven and all that kind of stuff, and a couple of bedrooms in the back.
What did I do to have alerts come after me? I'll tell you. Very simple. I said, I'm partying in the club and I don't want my phone vibrating anymore, like Lady Gaga. And because I hung up my phone, aka my radios, they got pissed. I'm not an F-16, so I can't do whatever I want. But I acted like it. Sim, thanks for the 18-month resub, man. How are you? Appreciate it, dude. Yeah, where is that? Man, these fighters, they come and then they go. It's like they never showed up at all.
So did
How
you
is
want to try
model
to
matching
demonstrate
handled?
that? You
Huh?
want to try to demonstrate the blocking on the frequency?
Yeah, sure. So is it 2 people or 3 that you needed to do it with? I think it's 2, right?
So you just start talking and I'll talk over you.
Okay. Right, Gorian, the model matching is so it uses BVAI, so if you install the client, it takes the models from that. But I think there's a more sophisticated system that is
What are you doing, bro? Why are you
yeah,
following me?
for that.
Dear elusive toilet paper or pants optional at cruise on UPS flights?
Oh, it worked.
Somebody
It's
else
sort
wants
of
to transmit, not Chili, because we can't hear it on the stream.
Oh, is it not transmitting on it's not transmitting on stream when I talk right now?
No. When you talk, it's only send, not receive, so you can't hear the blocking. So I'll talk right here, and then UPS 804, if he starts talking right now, and then we can hear the blocking over here, over there.
Oh, okay, okay.
I see what he's saying.
So I can't be the one. I can't be one of the
Alright,
people that's
Zach, you
doing
ready?
it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, so with the blocking. Let me know when you guys. Okay, yeah, right now we can try it. There we go. We got the blocking. There we go, right there. The blocking. More blocking. UPS pilot live interview showing voice codec deployed. Yeah, that's one that right there. There. Locked.
Hey, well, could be worse. I want to point out something though. The best thing though is just the fact that it's pretty much impossible for someone to blare in your ear. It controls the volume on its own, and that's like if there was one thing I wanted in life, that was it. That's like the number one thing I want. Like there's a lot of other cool things, but that was like a big one for me. So
Umberto.
hey, Paddle, thanks for the 18 months. It's good to see you. Appreciate it, man.
2 babes.
2 babes. Sounds good. Oh, did I get a scam train? Oh my gosh, guys. Did it do a scam train? Guys, scam train. Alright, guys, make sure you join the scam train. You guys know that all you have to do to join the scam train is give money and you get emotes for it. What sounds does the scam train make? It makes the blocking sound. If you get to level 3, we'll do the blocking again. How about that? Hey, Sim, thanks for the 100. Thanks for the. Oh shit. Oh, Zach, you didn't have to. Holy cow! Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs, Zach. Holy cow, guys! If you got a gifted sub from our special guest, then all right, guys, you know what to do. Time for the blocking again. Time to block again. Make sure if you got a sub from Zach that you thank him for that. By the way.
Hey, Moose. Oh, I'm sorry, Tech. I had you on auto block. What was your question?
Oh my gosh, destroyed. Can the fighter perform some crazy rolls? I mean, it will do like if you're. Are you asked? Oh, you just want to show it? Okay. Sorry, I didn't take that as a rhetorical question or like a direction. I don't see it. So. Hey, Insulated Panda, thanks for converting to a tier 1 sub. I appreciate that too.
Okay, Tech. The restroom in the 767 is in the cockpit because everything is in the cockpit. But it flushes. It's not a composting toilet.
Ah, he's in front. Okay. He's in front now. Can I see him now? I moved my view down. All right, I can see it now. You pee in bags? That's weird. All right. I don't know. I forgot who asked to do that. Well, I know Tim's. I guess it was Tim. I think someone else might have asked, though. But yeah, thanks so much, Zach. You're too kind. Hey, what's up, Mamba Gator? How are you? So yeah, if you guys are just coming in, we have a guest answering questions, and we're kind of showing off some of the POSCON features, and we're also on doing like one of the longest flights I've ever done in like a very long time. So this flight is like probably another hour and a half, 2 hours. Hey, thanks for gifting a sub to AJ. I appreciate it. AJ, thank you, man. Very kind of you to do that. Thank you so much. Paddle, thanks for gifting a sub to Mamba Gator. Firehawk, thanks for gifting a sub to Wise8787. Did we get level 5? Insulated Panda, thanks for the 100 bits. All right, we're at level 5. Can we do it? We're doing good. We're at 27. We're at okay, that's for the gift sub. Oh, you guys are doing good. You guys can get some emotes for that. I've only had one level 5 scam train before, so I'm impressed. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Insulated, thanks for the 200 bits. Yeah, you guys are just crazy tonight. Yeah, I've only gotten to a level 5 scam train once. That's what I meant. Oh my gosh, Tech. Tech, of course, would never ask serious questions. Oh, you can talk if you want, Zach. You can just talk over me. It's fine.
I just see the questions go by and then I get lost. You know, I don't have the attention span of a gnat. So.
That's not possible. Come on, gotta give some more. Gotta give some more credit to yourself.
Insulated Panda, does the 7576 have the emergency pea catcher? No, it does not. It's the luxury of cargo is that we can just get up and go use it whenever we want. We don't have to ask the flight attendant or anything. It's nice.
Hey, Paddle, thanks for gifting us up to Rigorian. Hey, Jason, thanks for gifting 3 subs as well. Oh my gosh, you guys did it. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all the love tonight, guys. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
What a Wednesday we're having.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we got it. 103%. I only brought the window up. I used Chatty, but you can't see hype trains in Chatty, so I just loaded the chat normally to see it. What's up, Jax? How are you? Good to see ya.
So how are you doing with this flight, Will? Or do you need a relief pilot? Do you need to go take a little nappy nap? It's kind of getting a little long.
I don't know. We're only at the like the hour mark. I'll be fine. Maybe in another like 7 minutes, I'll need to ghost myself or something. I don't know.
Well, the good news is we managed to file ourselves right directly into the headwind, so we got that going for us.
Yeah, I did notice. I was gonna say I think we did. So that's always good, right? That's what I'm looking for. Are you going 0.85?
I'm gaining on you.
Okay, so are you still behind me?
I'm gradually gaining on you. I'm gonna get a little bit closer here so you can do some stunning chase plane.
Yeah, Rigorian, ghosting does work. It's just you disappear to other pilots, but you can see other pilots still. Oh, I didn't show the map. I'll show you guys. You guys have been like so just like throwing all the support and everything. I kind of forgot to show that. So if I go to the map, you can see all of us together and everything. So I'll show that. So you can see all these people flying. So this is me. You can see me here. It gives you all the information. And you can also see, you can change some of this. Some of this doesn't work, but I think the ghost one does. Oh, this is this guy here. There. And then this is Zach behind us here. And it updates live. Oh, it's something else it does too, I'll show. Is if you go to like any airport and zoom in, you'll see the layout. And if you go to commercial airport, you will see like the full taxiway layout rendered on the screen like this. And if there were planes here, you could see them. So I'll show that again if you guys remind me when we get to Denver later. So that's really a cool feature that I enjoyed because I love airports and I love like the idea of being able to see that without having to look at Navigraph if I don't want to. Wait, what's the choo-choo? You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Oh, we got level 5 hype train emotes. That's sick. All right, I'll grab that. Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thanks so much. That was great. Maybe I need to make my scam train harder. I didn't scam enough money out of you guys, so I need to make it harder.
Time to roll an ad then, right?
Time to roll a mid-roll, yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah, Moose, I'm in the
3-minute
400,
commercial.
not in the Dash 8. I'm in November 575 UP by Textures by John Tavin.
John Tavers.
Tavers.
Yeah, Tavers does everything. That guy's a legend. Let's be honest. I just sit here and I spew shit. And sometimes I have good content, but like those are the real MVPs. Like people that like build POSCON and like paint planes. I forget his name, but I think it was the guy that did the paints for the 748. Was like found my channel and like was hanging out with me. That was cool. I love it when like I meet people that do stuff in flight sim like that. I think it's fun. 3-minute ad break pog. Nah, that would be unfair. I'm not gonna do that. I don't play mid rolls like ever, so I'm not gonna play one. Let me show some other stuff as well here. So there's, you have a profile. It's work in progress, but it shows your flights. And if you're a controller, it will show like your controller positions. Don't worry about this. I think it's in the FAQ, which I can link. But I'll link you guys the FAQ if you want to read more stuff later. If you haven't seen that yet. But there's some work in progress stuff. Is POSCON like FatSim? I think that's a very broad question. I would say, like, in a lot of ways, it's not. I mean, it's a free service, but I think in a lot of ways it's going above and beyond what's going on there. So I'll show some of this here. So it will show you like what airlines you've been flying. Ignore this. I tested the flight planning by this, so you'll see that. And it shows like, it gives you some basic stats. What is training for? Oh, this is the introductory training. So you can see that. What else can I show you here? So all you have to do to install the client, so you get the launcher and then you go in here and you can install either client. I believe, if you guys can clarify, like if any dev can clarify, I believe that the X-Plane client does work, but maybe is not quite as far along as the FP3D client right now, the FSX client, but maybe I misunderstood. I don't want to spread misinformation, but that's what I thought was the case. So just tell me if that's the case so I can clarify that. Hey, what's up, Austin? How are you? Sean, what's the difference? Well, there's a lot. First of all, the codec is really nice. It has auto gain control on volume, so it's basically impossible for someone to scream into your ear. Oh, it's okay. It's a different implementation. Okay, that's what I thought. So it's not quite there as far as like compared to the P3D client. Oh, thanks, Jimbo. Okay. So let's see what else I can look at here. I'll show the flight plan UI again if you guys missed it earlier. So when you go to the 3 dots and click pilots, you can find the flight plan UI. It will show you all the last flights so you can see them. But I'll just show you this really quick. It's super detailed, so you can do like, it'll give you like all the ICAO equipment options. It's like super in depth on that. Surveillance equipment's like the FAA, what you would file like on other networks. So like obviously like we're this, and also ADSC. Not all of this is required though. It's just that it's kind of there. Like some of it's required, but a lot of the more detailed stuff's not necessarily required for filing. But yeah, you can do that. And then you connect, after you file, you connect over here basically to log on. And what's cool about this whole thing though, oh, I'm getting a TCAS message. What's that about? Are you right in front of me?
Left wing.
Oh, is that why I'm getting a TCAS message?
Perhaps.
Oh, that's amazing. So I guess he ended up right there. Did you like offset your heading or something?
Yeah, just kind of offset a little bit.
Okay. Will there be actual restrictions? You can fly what you want, where you want, when you want? What does that mean? Use text with ATC. POSCON is so POSCON is designed to be a voice network, but with text available under approval only. Like you have to have a special reason to be approved to use text only. It's not allowed for most people. Like a reason that you actually legitimately cannot use text. Because the point is like, I mean, when you have a codec that good, like the point is to use it, I guess. And also it's a immersion thing. Well, the requires certification. I believe that you basically follow the code of conduct, but that I don't think there's any like actual ratings required. How would becoming a controller work? I think they have more information on that than I do. Yeah, I mean there is CPDLC. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. So Zach, I have a question for you. What was your hardest like part of your flying career?
Like job wise, like what was the hardest job?
Yeah, just like getting to that next thing, you know?
I think the lowest point was probably when I was flight instructing in Las Vegas because I was just flying so many hours, and the way it was there, I was flying out of North Las Vegas Airport, and at the time there was no ILS in the Las Vegas Valley other than McCarran International, and obviously you can't do practice approaches at McCarran during the day, so all of our flying was between like midnight and 7 a.m. when the airliners weren't flying. So I was flying in the middle of the night, and then during the day I was doing sim instruction and proctoring written tests and teaching CFI classes and ground school. And I was just like, I think I've 130 hours of instruction a month for like 5 months in a row, and I was just dead at the end of it. But it was just kind of that final grind to build up all the hours to be able to apply for another job.
Yeah, and it probably didn't help that that was still before the US government was like, "Oh, wait, you shouldn't be getting paid less than someone who like works at Burger King to fly planes."
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you talk about like the regional airline world. It
Yeah.
got good in the last 4 years,
Mhm.
and post 9/11, and then when the retirement age changed to 65, and then the recession in 2008, those were pretty lean years. But right when I got hired at the regionals, in 2004, we were still growing and getting planes, so it was pretty good then.
Oh, Carl is asking you, what's the story behind the controller in Las Vegas?
Um, Ground Point Niner may know more about than I do. Everything I've heard is speculation, and I wouldn't want to. I heard that it was someone at work intoxicated, and they needed some help, and they're getting that help. That's what I've heard, but I don't think the FAA has or would ever.
Yeah, I try not to. That's why when people talk about certain issues, like I try not to. I don't like to stick on it because I feel like it's unfair because,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to
whether
speculate
it's
because they're not here to speak for themselves or anything like that. I mean, everybody's heard the audio by now, and it was definitely something going on. But I'm sure that the people in charge there took care of it the way that they could best. And I think the thing that's amazing about it is if you listen to that video long enough, is how the pilots started coordinating with each other, and nothing bad happened. It was kind of a great lesson in how people can react. And you've seen it lately with air traffic control facilities closing suddenly, like at John Wayne the other day and Midway a couple weeks ago. The system reverts to uncontrolled procedures pretty quickly, and everybody makes it work.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like that's both on the ATC side and like flying side too, because what used to happen is that a lot of like there was a lack of safety because it was very reactive. It was like, oh well, it was clearly the pilot's fault, like over and over and over again, and it like took a while for people to realize that like accidents are never one problem in a situation. It's always like a bunch of stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been very smooth. I haven't noticed like anyone like stutter or like teleport at all.
It's interesting how I'm looking out the window at your airplane and it's staying right there and it's not dropping back a mile and then moving back up.
Yeah, right. Can you guys tell me, the devs, can you tell me if the pause rep works or the pi rep works? I'm just curious if it does work. I haven't tried to use it. I'm just wondering if it does work. What's up, Captain Rat? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? By the way, guys, for those of you that are new here really quick, if you want, you can join my Discord. Also, join the POSCON Discord on their website. I'll link POSCON's website. If you like want more information about like registration or like meeting other people and stuff like that, it's a good place to go probably. But yeah, just feel free to join my Discord if you ever like want to DM me about something or need to reach out for whatever reason. I don't work, disclaimer, I don't work on POSCON as a dev. I'm just a tester right now. So like I'm not an official support vector for POSCON, but this is FSX. No, this is P3D version 4, Captain Rat. But the pilot client does work in FSX and P3D. Wow, you've only had 5 or 6 ramp checks?
Yeah, they just don't happen that often.
Why do you hear the horror stories,
CFI,
though?
Because one when I was doing part 135, and then 3, and the 3 that I had, they were usually in foreign countries at Atlas, you know, where they come on and they want to see the op specs manuals and that the MEL's updated in the plane and the logbook and check everybody's license and medicals, that sort of thing. You know, they'll randomly do it in Australia or somewhere like that. It's low threat. I mean, it's not a big deal, but yeah, they rarely happen in the U.S. I think it happens a lot more with GA.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I was wondering that because, like, I remember taking some legal courses for aviation, and there were like horror stories about like what you should and shouldn't do when like the inspector questions you and stuff. Like, don't give up information. It's that you know you have no reason, you know, you don't have to or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never had anything like super threatening like that.
Captain Rat, I put a link above. It's also below the video player. If you scroll down, there's a big picture. But if you need it, I can do it again. Game tag states FSX. Yeah, well, eventually we'll move past that, but unfortunately, there's really no way to convince Twitch to move everything into a category in the genre. It's hard to do. Like, P3D is a category that has never been used. I have never seen a single person I follow a lot. I try really hard to like interact with like everyone that like streams on a regular basis pretty much, I guess, and I've never seen someone use that category because it has no box art and it's not used. Oh, Captain Rat, I got your roll, by the way. Oh, we're getting TCAS alerts again.
It looks like the wind has picked up and out of the north at Denver, so they're going to be landing to the north according to the latest ATIS.
Oh yeah, let me show you guys the ATIS again just for the context here. So if I go to this, I can put in the destination. I mean, if you can get Twitch to unify the categories, I don't know how you're doing it without bribery. I think it's a policy thing. Yeah, 34835 left. Yeah. I mean, that's fine because I mean, that's all I mean, that's normally what I do anyway.
Yep.
But how does that change? Okay, so when you make that change, how do you do it? Do you really just select the runway and the arrival again, and that's all you do? And the trans? You don't do anything else? Like you ignore the transition?
Yeah, so you'd go the way that the proper way is you select the runway, select the star again with the transition if you have to, because in this case you have to change the star to the 3-5 transition, right? And then the key is always go back to the legs page before you hit execute. and make sure that it's doing what you want, that it looks the way you want. See how you have a discontinuity after haze between oath? So now you have that option to, ooh.
Sorry, something happened there. That was weird. We all right? I think so. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So now you go back to when you're in the legs page there, you can see you have that discontinuity between haze and oath. So now you have the opportunity to close that up before you execute it and review all your waypoints on the star so that you're not executing something. Because if you do it from the depar page, you might be executing something that you can't see. Because sometimes things go in there.
That's a good point.
And I'm loading the approach with the corrupt initial approach fit.
Okay. That's normally what I do, but I'm always like, I think that's right, but I don't know.
Well, the star, I don't think you've been in Denver maybe since this revision, because all of the arrivals just changed in Denver.
Oh, did they? Okay. On like the last cycle?
Yep.
Wow, that I didn't realize.
So all of them are dual direction now, so you don't have to worry about which one's for north and which one's.
I see. Okay. Cool.
Rigorian was asking about secondary flight plans. For the Boeings, we don't really ever use them. We always have them filled. So right in the end of the pre-flights, when the first officer's done loading the FMS, they'll copy the route to the secondary flight plan. Just in case the first one gets messed up, you always have another good copy of it. But for international stuff, sometimes we'll use the secondary flight plan if we're doing ETOPS to put in our decision points, equal time points, something like that. If it were at a complicated airport like Quito, Ecuador, or somewhere that has a complicated single engine procedure, we'll load the engine out procedure into the secondary flight plan. That way we can execute it quickly if we have a engine failure at low level and need to go to a hold somewhere, but that's about all it's used for.
Oh, the side view? Oh, this. I didn't see this. No, I didn't. Oh, that is cool. Different way to see the world, I guess, huh? And then you can drag this to see. Like that. That is cool. Thanks for sharing that with me, Tim, by the way. Appreciate that. Let me feature this for you, Zach. Oh, I thought you... Okay, you answered that.
Yep.
So... This might be a weird one, but... So I know there's like, like flight operations, like not just like dispatch and stuff, but there's people like, how often are you communicating with people that are like at your home base about like, information or like what's going on?
So the people that we normally probably talk to, and I think every airline's probably like this, is you probably talk to crew scheduling more than anybody, and because you have to, if you're on reserve, they're going to give you your assignments. If you're a line holder, you may not. I don't ever really talk to them because I bid my schedule and I don't really change it much, but they handle trip trade requests, and if you've been reassigned because of weather or mechanical or anything like that, and they're all part of flight ops. And then we have at UPS, we do a lot of traveling on commercial airlines and ground transportation, and so we have a whole travel department that coordinates all of that. So they're a separate group that we deal with them a lot. And then, of course, there's dispatchers that we talk to, you know, not every flight. If there's nothing going wrong, we don't ever really talk to them. They communicate with us via the release and send us text messages into the ACARs if we need to know something more timely. But those are the three. You know, chief pilots and stuff like that, we don't really talk to them too much. They're around if we need them. And there's a whole slew of interns in Louisville that, you know, lately they've been tasked with making sure that we all have enough alcohol swabs and wipes and all that kind of stuff when we go out on our trips, that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a whole ton of people that make it all happen for sure.
Yeah, I was just wondering like how often, you know, because like you hear about like, you know, flight operations and like you wonder like how often do you actually use like SATCOM and such. Why is my data off? That's weird. Anyways, but yeah, it seems like it sounds like what you're saying is like apart from the actual like ground part, as far as like, you know, the checks and the, you know, moving the aircraft and stuff and like unloading and loading, that it's like pretty autonomous most of the time.
Yeah, and the all the ground personnel, the ramp personnel, they're in a completely separate department. They're in ground operations. So we usually only talk to one person in that team, and that's the ramp lead. They'll usually see us once per flight. And the mechanic, we see a mechanic every flight just to verify that everything's good. They don't. It's usually like a 15-second conversation, but we'd see a mechanic every flight.
And then you, oh, do you want to tell the story of how you pocket dialed me?
No.
No? Why?
That was funny. Yeah, I did accidentally. What was it? It was a Discord.
Yeah, we were talking and then you were gonna go do a flight and something happened.
Yeah, and the Discord call got pocket dialed, and you were entertained by the entire briefing.
Yeah, you guys were like,
and associated chit chat that happens. That's all completely aviation related, always.
True. Yeah, I got your call sign and I went on to live ATC.
Oh, you
I
did?
could hear you. I could hear the entire ATC. That's how clear it was. I heard the entire ATC clearance through your radio.
iPhone 11 phone quality, right?
Dude, don't remind me. I don't know if I've told chat.
Apple.
I've told chat, but I want to. I've had my Galaxy. I've had this phone for 22 months, and I've taken really good care of it. But I want to get a iPhone through the upgrade program because it's like really affordable to do that. It actually costs less money per month. Like I got this phone on sale, and it's still less money to get the upgrade program that gives you insurance and get a new phone every 12 months. That's like, it's ridiculous. It's a joke. Like there's literally, can't think of a better option. The biggest problem, it's not just that I don't hate Android. The biggest problem is like the battery is just getting bad because it's been charged so many times. I don't know how often you get a new phone. Do you get a new phone every year?
Yeah, I've been on that upgrade program since it started. So
okay.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. Can recommend.
Do you pay for the theft insurance or just?
Yeah, because my phone got stolen a couple of years ago, so now I'm a believer.
Yeah, I mean, you can replace your battery, Carl, but honestly, I'd rather just like move on from the Galaxy and say like, yeah, it wasn't bad, but I prefer iPhones. Well, Carl, yeah, the Apple Care with the upgrade program just doesn't include theft. You have to pay extra for it, but it might be worth it. It's not that expensive. It's like $4 a month to pay for theft insurance. Chili, why are you flirting? What's up, El Puru? You got a question, Rigorian?
Yeah, Rigor. Yeah, it's a tough question. I mean, as far as like, I think the biggest thing I would say is piloting command time and multi-engine time. Like, however you can get that, get that. Generally, if you can fly freight for like a Mara flight, like if you can get the time to do Part 135 night freight for one of those companies and get some time in a turboprop eventually and all that kind of stuff too, that's a great way to build time and a lot of good experience. I liked instructing myself. It was a lot of hard. It was hard work, of course, but like it was a lot of fun too. But there's no. I mean, people come from all over the place and all sorts of different kinds of backgrounds, and so there's no right or wrong way to do it. I would say, but for efficiency's sake, PIC and multi-engine, that's the best way to get to the regionals. And then when you get to the regionals, stay until you get 1,000 PIC. Don't leave. Don't be tempted by a right seat in a wide body at an ACMI carrier or something like that. Just stay there until you get your piloting command time, because that's the most valuable commodity once you're at the regionals.
So, what are your thoughts on like, basically, you know, for going from that? I guess. What are your thoughts on like? So you did flight instruct. Did you just did flight instruction at an airport, or you did it for a flight school, or how did you do it?
I flight instructed for ATP Inc., which they're
Oh,
still
you
around.
did.
So it was in, yeah, it was in Seminoles. I was in Phoenix and Vegas.
But that didn't. But you said that didn't pay well, right? Does it pay better
No, not.
now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was less than $1,000 a month back.
That's really bad. Oh God.
But back then, there was plenty of pilots. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't any talk of a shortage. I mean, there was.
And now, yeah.
Well, what was? We'll see what the industry does or the next year. I mean, it's kind of up in the air, I would say, at this point.
Yeah, but even like, I mean, that's true. But like, even when you look at the outlooks, just in general, it's like substantial. It's like it might change the number, but it's definitely, I'd say it's probably still a deficit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing it's going to do is change the time, because people are still going to retire. We can't stop that, and there's a lot of retirements coming up. So, American got 602 people to take an early retirement, and they're retiring 1,000 pilots a year over the next 3 years, I think. So, they're going to need people. Period. Even if they cut the fleet by 20% or something. But this is a big hit. I mean, this is huge. What's happening right now?
I mean, I kind of get annoyed when people bring up uh pilotless aircraft, because it's not even like we don't even have driverless cars. Like, if you think that's gonna come in like any near future, like, it's kind of insane. I don't like That's why I don't talk about it, because there's really no point. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Zach, but I think it's just like so
Well,
far away that
yeah. I mean, I, I'm the most biased person you could ever talk to about this, right? Like, of course, you know, but I mean, it'll happen eventually. But the thing that I always think about when it comes to pilotless airplanes is not the airplanes; it's the system. And talk to anybody that works for the FAA right now about the integration of CPDLC in the U.S. and how that's going. I don't know if AJ's still here or not, but it's like, you know, to get a system where they're going to actually have that like integrated top down to where everything can go that way, it's going to be a while. But it'll get there, but it's going to be a while.
well, and yeah, and part of that too is like you need enough redundancy,
Yeah.
like a lot of redundancy. I don't know how I turned my VHF data off. I've never seen this before.
You
I don't know how
probably
important it is.
tuned the center radio all away from data when you were doing all that stuff with the
Oh,
121.
possibly.
Rigorian, I would ask you, what is your, like, where would you want to work? like when it comes to picking cargo versus a regional and all that, like, what do you feel like you'd like to do as your ultimate career job? I mean,
Yeah, people delivering presentations about not needing ATC because of aircraft technology. Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
no doubt.
It's kind of like,
I don't know if I told you, AJ, that I mean, I left the agency in 2010, and we were getting trained on CPDLC then, and ERAM, and it was years before either one of them happened in Atlanta.
what's up, Vandy? How are you? Oh, let's see. Sharks fan asked you about hiring.
Sharks and hiring. I don't see it. Oh, did they still be
bottom.
hiring by the end of the decade? Yeah, I think so. I think so. You know, everything happens in waves in this industry, but just because of the way the mandatory retirement stuff works, you know, you'll get a big generation of people hired that are about the same age, that cohort. Then when they get old enough and retire, then, you know, they got to do a bunch of hiring. This last period, you know, has been characterized by retirements on one hand, but also all the, you know, 10 years of unprecedented economic growth that we've had and created a lot more demand. So.
Oh, did you see
But I'm not an
Gregorian's
economist.
question? Any input on cargo versus regional versus mainline? Or did you answer that?
Yeah, I was asking him, you know, I think that depends on where you want to end up. You know, if you want to fly cargo as your main career job, you know, hang on, I'm reading. See, jet links are paramount near Dallas. Pilot for hire contract group, top 1% would be the route. Yeah, I think, you know, you get on one of those places, jet links, you know, I hear them on the radio all the time. Yeah, that's jet time, man. That's going to get you anywhere you want to go. You know, if you build a good network of people that you know, and if you want to go to American, you can go that route. If you want to go to UPS or FedEx, you know, there's people that want to fly during the daytime and fly people, and then there's people that like, you know, being a vampire in the middle of the night and do cargo. They're very different worlds, I'll say that.
Did you
And
see, sorry, go ahead.
No, which one did I see?
Why do pilots have to join unions?
Why is it compulsory for pilots to join a union? Well, it's compulsory for pilots to join a union if they're getting hired at a union airline. There's quite a few non-union airlines out there. JetBlue is not anymore. I was going to say JetBlue, but now they're ALPA. I guess SkyWest is probably the largest airline in the country that's not union. But yeah, every union pilot group is a closed shop, so you have to join. But if for some reason you don't want to pay, all the airlines have options in the unions for you to pay what they call service fees, where you pay for what the cost of negotiating the contract, because everybody works for the same contract, right? Everybody gets paid based off what the union negotiates, so you have to pay for that service. But if you don't want to pay the dues over that, you don't have to. But I don't advise that. There's not very many people that would choose to go that route, that's for sure. It's just a fact of the career, man. It's a union job. Vandy pilots. Yep, so that's kind of what I did. I did 135 in Lears. And then I went to ExpressJet in 2004 and flew there for 9.5 years. Then I went to Atlas, and then I came to UPS.
Is that common, or is that like kind of rare? Like, how do you think people normally do it? Like, how you got from your like the break between, you know, like the 200-hour, like having multi-engine, having commercial, like, to getting to a mainline carrier.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the route that I went is too uncommon. The time at the FAA was probably the uncommon part about my career, but that was a whole different thing. But yeah, I mean, as far as the flying jobs go, that's a pretty normal route, I think. I think like going to a big flight school, like a 141 school, is getting more popular because right now more airlines have deals with these schools. Like if you go to ATP, they have agreements for interviews at Envoy and Piedmont and all these places. That didn't exist when I went through, but now because those arrangements exist, because these airlines need people, it makes it more compelling to just, lay out a big chunk of money, and they're great schools. You're going to learn to do what you need, and it's, and you got a good career path going forward. So I think that's probably more normal now than it was when I went through.
Yeah, Valarius, definitely cargo, but if you want, well, I should say in most cases it's cargo, but Zach, if you want to evaluate on that or,
No, I mean,
or
I
elaborate
think
on
I
that.
said there was a similar question earlier. If you look at the big five airlines in the U.S. as far as career goes, Delta, United, American, UPS, FedEx, not necessarily in that order. They're all about the same. I mean, you're going to find little variations and stuff, but compensation wise and all that, they're kind of all in the same ballpark, I think. I've never worked for a major passenger carrier, so I don't know all the ins and outs, but I have friends at all of them. So, but I think we're all kind of in the same.
So like, what's the difference between like if you were like going in as if you're a cargo pilot at a cargo carrier in the U.S. versus like a FO and cargo versus like a captain at a, are you still gonna get superseded in pay by someone it's a captain at like United or Delta or
Oh, you
Alaska or
could.
something?
You could. I mean, everything they call it in the world of the unions and negotiating contracts, they call it pattern bargaining, right? So, if FedEx gets a big pay raise on their next contract, that's something for us to build on, and something for Delta to build on, because we get to say, hey, the average industry pay rate for this type of aircraft is now this, and it just kind of works that way. And when the economy recedes and people take concessions, which inevitably happens in a cycle, it's kind of works the other way. So you kind of build off of each other that way.
Aviation, I don't think there's a public beta date. If you want a chance to get to test, you need to go up to POSCON's website, which I'll link in chat for you guys if you're curious to learn more about that. And you can join the beta pool for people to get invited, and they'll add more people over time. White Lig POSCON so far is pretty cool. We'll try and do a little more work with the voice for those of you that have come in later, so you can hear it. But it's also on the VOD. If you guys want to hear like some of the other stuff that Zach talked about, then you can always watch this VOD later. I'll make it highlighted so it never disappears. And if you have other questions for us, though, you can always like get in contact with us, and we'll try and answer them. Brian doesn't want to go to it. Doesn't like unions, apparently.
Yeah. Hey, teach their own. I'll say, the unions are not like very in your face at the airlines. They're sort of just part of the fabric of the place. It's not like don't picture a construction site with an inflatable rat on the corner. It's a little different. But I am a big believer that in the airline industry, and I was a union steward in the Teamsters for years, and at my previous employer, and it's a very beneficial arrangement for the companies and for the employees, and most of what we get that's good comes from good negotiations, because these are publicly traded companies. I mean, the companies are obligated to try to get as much out of you as they can for as least amount. But so for us, it's a seniority system. You don't get better schedules because you're a nice guy. You get it because you've been there longer. And that's just the way it works. It can be frustrating, but that's just how it works. But there's plenty of other routes to go in aviation that can be quite lucrative. If you can fly great corporate jobs, there's good jobs with Boeing and Gulfstream doing demonstration flights and all that kind of.
I think you missed something from Rigorian that was above what he just said about Dan Grider.
I am not familiar with Dan Grider or what he's got going.
Yeah, you don't spend that much time on like YouTube aviation content, I imagine, right?
No, not really.
I honestly don't either, but that's because I spend all that time here, so I'm happy to do that.
Oh, I kind of see what he's getting at though with AQP. Yeah, I'd have to watch those videos to come up with a good opinion about it. It sounds interesting. That is one thing, do you want to know about AQP?
Oh, we're making progress. I think we've maintained like the same airspeed for the entire flight, but I don't know how that's possible. I guess it's because of the cost index.
Yep.
So
I slowed off to get you out in front a little bit.
Should I be redlining more than this, or am I not doing it right?
Read up if you want. It's up to you.
I mean, what? Like, I'm only at 0.85, so.
Rolling on up to 88.
But we're so close to top of descent? Okay.
Are we?
Kinda. At least that's what I have in here.
170 miles. Does this mean I'm going to have to fly behind you at 30 miles at 180 knots?
How far ahead are you?
I'm 3 miles behind you.
Oh, you are? Oh, I'll slow down. I'll go back to whatever I was at then. I don't care.
No, you're good, man.
I only went up 5 knots, so not a big deal. I'm number 1, better slow it down. Yeah, right. Well, I should be first though, so I can show like I want you guys to have another example of refresh rate of the system.
Yeah, I'll stay far enough behind you where you get turned off the runway before landing.
Okay.
Sorry, Ragorian, I missed your AQP. Yeah, it's regimented, but it's really good. For everybody that doesn't know what AQP is, basically it's the method that we use in the airlines, most airlines anyway now, to do all of our recurrent training. And what it does is it takes data from the previous year of what the airline has done wrong or maybe needs improvement on, and it sources all that from data from the airplanes and from whatever else, and we train to focus on that in our recurrent every year, and that's AQP. And I've found it to be great in the time that I've been a part of it. So to think that there would be something like that for general aviation recurrency, that it'd be interesting. It'd be really tough to implement. I mean, GA is kind of resistant to change, as far as not change, but I would say like any more restrictions or any more requirements. The AOPA lobby is pretty strong in Washington to prevent that kind of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see if they could ever actually get something like that through. But I think pilots being the way they are, if it was voluntary, a lot of people would probably take advantage of it too.
So what you're saying is like sometimes, I mean, there's already so much that you have to learn and do that it kind of should be up to them.
Yeah, I mean, so the FAA will dictate some of this, right? Like after the Colgan Air crash in Buffalo, they dictated that after that, there needed to be increased awareness on stall training and recovery and icing situations, and because they saw so many flaws, and that was kind of across the board, highlighted by one accident. But there was bad behavior and there was negative training being conducted in stall training across the industry. So the FAA stepped in and made recommendations, and that's been corrected over the last, it's been 10 years ago now. So it's stuff like that, you know. And I'm sure we'll get something out of the Atlas crash, or, you know, all the accidents and stuff like that. They all lead to some sort of change or training or emphasis item that will be trained on by. And every pilot will go through training in the next year and get in the simulator and have to do it. You know, no matter what airline you're at, every airline may do it a different way, but it will be done.
Well, and we know that, you know, I mean, it's clear that, like, I mean, there were multiple factors from the legislation that were really important for where things are now that people don't really think about very often. And it's definitely the stall. It's definitely like the training aspect, but it's also like the labor aspects too that had to be changed.
Yeah, and a lot of it's situational now. You know, like the way that they're doing stall training now, and they call it emergency or extended envelope training. You know, where it's like, where it used to be, it was like, okay, and you're sitting in a jet simulator, and they'd be like, okay, show us a stall and the landing configuration, and you do all these steps, reconfigure to a landing, and then you would execute a stall and a recovery. And now they will give you a sudden wake turbulence encounter at 800 feet on final when you aren't expecting it, and you'll roll into a 50-degree bank and stall, and they want to see you make an instantaneous recovery so they can give you that shock factor that you would experience in real life. So you don't know it's coming, when it's coming, and it makes it for a really good training scenario, because you will do something wrong. Nobody's going to be perfect at it, and you will remember it because it's terrifying.
So what's your what's your favorite part of, like, when you go into the simulator every so often for the current? What do you like doing?
Leaving.
Oh, you don't actually enjoy it?
I mean, training is one of those things, you know, everybody's got to do it. It's like going to the dentist. But no, there is good sides. I like the CRM training. I like hearing about it, what everybody else has had going on out there. You get good stories. People get in a closed door where they know that there's no repercussions, and they'll tell about all the things that they saw screwed up, and you can always learn a lot of lessons for that. And you always come out of training feeling like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be better now. You know, it's kind of, and then you do 11 months on the line and go through the peak season, and then and then you go do it again next year.
So what's your favorite city to get stuck in on a layover, other than your own house, I guess?
Yeah, other than Chicago, Sydney, Australia, or Taipei.
So nowhere you actually go anymore.
Nowhere I actually go anymore.
We all know why that is too, huh?
Yeah.
I feel bad. I feel like I should have let you go and, like, get a drink or something.
No, I'll do it if I need to.
Yeah, we aren't that far from being done anyway.
Any airplane that I could fly. 727. Definitely the 72. Never will happen, but that's what I would.
Yeah, no worries, Gregorian. Zach, I mean, we could do this again if you want, but I just thought it would be good because I don't really see the point of demonstrating a network. Like, I wasn't saying the devs wouldn't get on and fly, but I didn't want to put them in a position to where they had to, like, ask, why am I getting called? That's weird. I'm gonna decline that. Robocall, probably. I didn't want to put them in a position where they felt like they had to, and also I didn't know if they were gonna be like really busy with support, because like it's not a full, like it's a beta rollout, but like I don't know how many people are in the pool of people that are doing this right now, so I didn't want them to be like overwhelmed and then also worried about like dealing with me. So
No, it's all good. Enjoy it. Maybe we'll pick a tailwind next time, though.
yeah, right. Go west next time.
Yeah. I feel like we could have done LA to JFK in less time than.
Have you thought about going Airbus?
Oh, I'd fly an Airbus. I don't have problems with that.
Yeah, he's not Andy. God, I wish Andy was
I'm
here.
not. No, my company only has the A300, so it's it's an Airbus, but it's an old Airbus. But if we ever got 330 freighters or who knows, yeah, when I like the airplanes that I fly, but mostly it's like kind of like where you want to go and what kind of schedule you want to have and that sort of.
Oh God, you'd have to pay A321. If you donate $500, I'll buy that plane and fly it. But that plane looks like fucking torture. I'm sorry. I think that's the first time that I've cussed the stream, and it was worth it. What's up, Reggie? Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys have the Captain Sim. I think Zach does, but I'm not really feeling to buy a plane I'm gonna fly once as a joke without a reason to fly.
Magnite much?
Oh no. It's getting too late for that.
I thought about getting that one, A321, but I don't know if I'd want you guys to be subject to the virtual cockpit of that. I don't want to do a Fezza. Yeah, I don't want my plane turning off. At least I know that this plane won't. Let's change your donations to the shore. What's the shore? Oh, the Shure SM7B. Yeah. I added that into my donation goal because I don't know what's going on with Flight Sim Expo, so I wanted you guys to like know that if Vegas gets canceled, which is somewhat likely, then I would like to get a better microphone, which that microphone is way better than the one I have right now. So it's hard to explain a Shure SM7B though if you haven't listened to it or like seen like just raw audio or like listen to raw audio from it, you don't get it. Enjoying the training videos. Oh, are you on POSCON already, Krusty, or gonna auction that road when you get the Shure? Maybe. I actually got a good deal on this. If I would have had to pay the full price for this mic, I would have just bought a Shure SM7B like 2 years ago. It's a $250 microphone, but I found one. It was actually super good because it was $100 off, and then I also got the case for free. And it was barely used at all. You could barely tell the box was opened at all. So yeah, Shure is generally like higher end in some cases. Audio Technica is good too, but they're usually more common because they're usually a lot cheaper. No worries, Sharks fan. Take care. I appreciate it.
See you, Sharks. Hey, I posted this blog post that this guy that I follow pretty heavily, he did this mega review of all these microphones, and he actually has samples that he recorded with all the different ones in there. And it's pretty handy. He kind of keeps it pretty up to date. That's why I got that. Where did I get that? ATR 2100 because it's cheap and good.
That's a good post. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, the RE20 Shure SM7B is so debatable. Everyone always debates it.
The SM7B, the thing about that is you really got to have good sound proofing. from what I understand.
Yeah.
Like you need sound deadening because if you're in a echoey space, you're gonna sound like you're in a barrel.
Yeah. Oh, I need to put in my altitude here. We're about to hit that. About to hit the top of drop here.
I'll be right back, Will.
All right. Yeah, the interface, take a look at this again for a bit. It's, yeah, overall it's pretty easy to use. I mean, there's still some work in progress, but I did like the look of this, though. It's kind of nice. Kind of like, just kind of clean and not overbearing. I wonder what happens if I get this. I'm gonna get node. Oh, I can't get nodes for that. Okay. They will implement that. You got the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti's okay. It's just that after you've listened to as many Shure SM7Bs as I have, it's really hard not to want it. Even though I feel like my microphone's still pretty good, I still feel sometimes like, oh my god, I'm missing out on my voice. Oh, I don't want to do that. That is not what I want. I do not want to disconnect. Fortunately, I don't even think you can do it by accident because it disables the button, so. I'll show you guys this again so you can get the ATIS right here in the client. Bad voice, good microphone, still bad audio. Okay. I'm okay with that. Taxiway golf closed between taxiway CN and Zulu. Interesting. Okay. I don't think that applies to any of the taxiways that I'm using, but I'll check that. Yeah, it's ATIS in POSCON. So you just put in so you go to ATIS request, flight information, and then you can select which one you want of these. And then you can type in whatever airport you want. Like I could type in like you know, SFO, and I would get it. The only caveat to this, so it gives it to you as a message. And right now, when you get messages, if you go to another tab, it doesn't clear them. So you have to go back. If you leave this tab, you have to go back and redo your ATIS again. But that's basically it. Like they're gonna be changing this to persist, basically. All right, so we are making our turn here now.
Are you hitting us with your excellent approach briefing?
Am I supposed to do that? I mean, I know you do that. But what?
Every time.
Of course. I thought that was like required, right?
It is. And I'm not even joking, it is every time.
But approach briefings are not a big deal, right? In terms of like, they're not very complex.
No, we keep them as simple as we can, just for highlight differences and any weird things.
Yeah, single pilot ops, you gotta brief yourself. True. He's not wrong. Beyond, do you actually do approach briefings normally when you sim or no?
Oh God, no, I don't.
Oh, he's so honest. It's amazing.
If anyone were watching me, I would try to set a good example for aspiring aviators.
Yeah. It's okay. Everyone comes to Twitch for entertainment anyway.
Are you not entertained?
I'm not entertained. I'm tired is what I am. But I feel
Come on,
like I'm
Chili.
not...
We got another 2 legs after this if we want to do a real duty period.
2?
Yeah.
Jeez, man. Are you...
9.5 hours.
What's the paycheck to go with that?
You would pay to do this.
I would?
No. No. Don't. That glorious green TD.
Yeah. Almost there. So, can you explain, is the purple line basically the same thing as the yellow line?
What?
Is
What
the
yellow line?
So you have the purple or
there's-
pink line for speed, and then you have the yellow line depending on like the aircraft and like the avionics.
No, the purple line, that's the FMS, so that's the magenta. So that's sort of showing you what the FMC or the auto throttles will tolerate as a speed deviation. So I think
okay.
it's +10 and -15. If you get more than +10 over your target, it's going to go into VNAV speed and pitch for airspeed, and you'll lose your path. If it goes more than 15 knots slow, it'll add power, but it'll kind of accept deviations within that range. The yellow is your getting close to maximum Mach number. That's a aircraft limitation.
Okay. Rigorian asked, how much leeway in the cost index is there?
We can adjust it a little bit. You know, it really depends. A lot of times what will happen is that we will be planned for a certain payload, and then we'll be a lot lighter than what was planned, which is typically what happens because they want to plan for more freight so they don't have to refuel or whatever else. So we're planned at a more conservative flight plan. And if we're running a little bit late because the sort was late or something like that, we can bump up the cost index or our speed to fly a little faster. Or a little slower if it's bumpy. You know, if it's really bumpy, sometimes we'll slow down. But generally, we don't adjust the cost index to do that. We'll just manually adjust the speed itself and not mess with the cost index, really.
So what do you think the hardest thing is to learn when you start flying? Like, if you're, like, from the very beginning? For most people?
I don't think it's necessarily the same for everybody. I think the learning all the terminology and the phraseology and talking on the radios at a controlled airport for the first time can be really intimidating, and something that, you know, places like POSCON and VATSIM and all the others can help with a lot. You know, I think getting the concept of what wind is doing to you in the air can be difficult when you're learning how to navigate. You know, it's not always point the nose at the thing you want to fly at. You know, you got to learning how to figure out what the wind is doing can be kind of a difficult concept right in the beginning. Nowadays, it's nice because you just look at the arrow and it shows you what the wind's doing. You are so much lower than me.
I'm just doing VNAV, yeah, I don't know.
Huh. You got the clash with the 3.5 transition, right?
I believe so. Let me check.
So the bottom altitude's 9,000 at Ebler.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have drag required. So why do you get drag required even though your VNav is showing you're on, like you're good, like you're on path?
That's kind of, that message will pop up a little prematurely sometimes. A lot of times when it happens, it's looking ahead, like maybe it's looking at its first deceleration that it needs, and you know, you got to be at 250 there at Everly, and you're at
Yeah.
350, so you got 100 knots to lose. It might be looking at that to say, you know, this might be a little tough without some drag, but it, you know, you could kind of, but your airspeed bug is still at 350, so you know it's not trying to slow down yet.
Right.
So you can kind of wait and see when it actually starts the decel.
So when does it normally do that? Because I know
The
I feel like
deceleration?
yeah, because I normally feel like when I pay attention, like it'll be still like a few miles and it won't start trying to do it even when I'm like behind on
Yeah,
speed.
yeah, and that can happen in the real plane too. Because you know, it's not a perfect computer. It's trying to do a flight idle descent, and it doesn't know the exact wind. So a lot
Yeah.
of things can change.
Oh, what's up, iFly? It's good to see you. I'm good. Did you see A321's question?
So I have to pay attention when we get to a turn. LNAV will turn at a steeper bank than heading select. But I'd have to notice when we get up here to a turn to see if it actually, what the roll in rate is. But it may be a little more abrupt than the airplane. The airplane's pretty gentle.
So when do you normally start slowing down for a restriction then? How do you figure that out?
I mean, it's different every time, right? It's you know, it's weight, you know, do you have a tailwind or a headwind? All that kind of stuff. Usually the big thing that you can see is once it's trying to do it itself is watch the green trend vector and see how quickly it's decelerating on its own. And you can kind of just look at it and spatially see, like, are you going to make it by your correct point or not? But it all depends on weight and wind and all that kind of stuff. If you got icing on, you know, you might have to have some speed brake because it's going to take longer because the engine's going to schedule a higher idle thrust to compensate for the anti-ice system being on.
Yeah, I definitely need drag here.
Yeah, you got yeah, it looks a little tight, but it's slowing down pretty good. You got 16 miles to lose 70 knots.
Oh,
So that's
I
not,
misread that. Never mind. I thought it was
it's 250 at Everly, right?
yeah. I think so. Yeah, Clash doesn't have anything.
In Zodius, this is the time when Zodius I get to make fun of how young everyone is because nobody knows any of the bands that this arrival's named.
Oh,
You see what
Polarius.
happens here when you do this, Will? You open the speed window, right, and started slowing down earlier.
Uh-huh.
You go into VNAV speed, so now your airplane is trying to fly the speed and it's not worried about your path. So it will trend high if you don't watch it. It's getting back
Okay.
on it now.
Oh, he wants me to zoom in on the fixes.
Yeah, you got Kiss, Dylan, Whalen, Lincoln, Clash, Everly, Townsend, Pinball. I think Roots.
Oh, you guys, come on.
You don't know the Everly Brothers. Come on.
You know, it's amazing what you can learn from MTV.
Pete Townsend.
Yeah, why not? You'd
Yeah,
be
AJ, it's
amazed
one of the
what
new ones, the Clash Arrival.
you'd be amazed what suggestion algorithms give you. You really would be amazed. It's kind of crazy. Are those Fortnite characters? Jeez, dude, no. No, 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 please.
That's hilarious. Yeah, AJ, that one's great too. Pilsner. There's a lager arrival and there's two beer, the ale arrival and Pilsner arrival. Something
Did you pay attention to the turn? Because of you were trying to figure out if.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a little aggressive just in that first wing up there, but it's not absurd.
Oh, Valarius wants to know if you've ever had a emergency that you had to deal with.
I've had two. I had one was a cargo fire in an RJ when I was flying from Houston to Wichita, and we diverted to Dallas, and it ended up that it was a bad alarm, but you don't know that, so you have to divert. So that was emergency inducing. And then I had a smoke in the cockpit out of LAX that was caused by a leaking like puddle of something in the avionics cooling fans that filled the cockpit up with smoke, so we had to immediately return. And a couple of medical stuff, but that's it.
I think he was hoping for some heroic story.
No, I have nothing like that. No single engine landings, no complete hydraulic failures, or
AJ, too soon. I'm gonna fucking report you. Too soon, bro. Reported for
So,
being a
explain
douche.
to me,
What?
why do you have the speed window open?
Why?
Yeah.
This?
Where it says 250.
Yeah.
Push the button.
Why?
Because you want the VNAV to be able to slow down when it needs to, right? You've gotten
Well,
below the path.
but
See how far?
I was thinking that I needed to be at 250 until right before the next place.
Look at your next speed restriction. It's right here at Thompson at 210, right? Townsend. It's holding the up speed because it's not going to go below that until you put flap out. So it's going to hold men clean. So if you want to be at 210 at that point, you got to start config.
Okay.
And I probably should too because I've now gained on you.
What's up, Mr. Adam? How's it going?
How many phone numbers? One. I made a big screw up in Charlotte.
Oh, you cut out what? You made a big screw up?
Gregorian was asking if I ever got a phone number from a controller, and yeah, we screwed up bad in Charlotte. It was right when Independence RNAV runway specific departures were coming out, and we got a runway change, and we didn't change the departure, so we turned the wrong way after takeoff on a parallel runway. It's nasty. Hey, if you can, why don't you go direct Krupp, and I'll keep flying straight and build a little space.
Go direct Krupp, just put it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you load the Krupp? You didn't load the Krupp transition on the final, I don't think.
No,
It's C.
because
It's with a C. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just slow down a little more.
no, it's probably good to figure out how to do this quickly. Okay.
Yeah. So if you just all you got to do is select the runway again. You don't have to select the star.
And you just want me to go to Krupp?
And select Krupp. Yep. And then yep. Perfect.
Okay. So I need to climb back to 11,000. Okay.
Nah, you're all right. Well, yeah. You can just hit the yeah, let him do his thing.
You should answer the phone numbers from Chick's question on the radio, because it would be funny.
That has never happened.
Bullshit.
Yeah, AJ, that was bad in Charlotte. I mean, it was right. They didn't do that was before they came up with all those rules about RNAV to a fix, you know, which was probably part of the reason we didn't get close to anybody. Luckily, it was just, you know, we were on 36 right and parallel traffic on 36 left, and they were turning left, and so were we. So we didn't really get close, but there was an exasperated instruction to immediately turn right.
But that's not
Learning
bad, I
opportunity.
mean, for... Huh?
It was a learning opportunity.
Yeah, that's not too... I mean... It's okay considering how long you've flown, I guess. But...
Oh, I will. This was the funniest one. Was my first solo when I was doing my private at Olathe County Airport in Kansas City, Johnson County Airport, and I was doing pattern work by myself. First time the instructor got out, he was watching me from the tarmac. And on my last one, the controller, there was a King Air behind me, and the controller told me minimum time on the runway, and I didn't know what that meant. Didn't really understand him, so I just stopped on the runway. King Air had to go around. I felt like an idiot.
Holy crap. Are you sure you weren't on VATSIM and you didn't dream it that it happened in real life? That sounds like something that would happen on VATSIM and not in the real world ever.
Right.
Honestly. That's a big
Tribulations
troll.
of a young 17-year-old learning how to fly. Yeah, Krusty.
Stuff happens on VATSIM isn't close. Not necessarily. It goes both ways. Alright. I'm gonna arm approach now. I'm gonna set 7. Oh my gosh. Mr. Adams question. That's a little aggressive. I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how the airlines work.
72 was the total. 72.
72?
Yeah, it was a lot.
What? Holy cow. Why did I meet you in person? This is not good. Do you play with mouse and keyboard? No. If you look, are you on mobile, EZOP? If you look below the stream, all of that information is there. If you can see the panels below the video player. Wait, he had to earn it, man. That's not what he... Okay. Being too literal here. My specialty, but... are you gonna make a CTAF call on the frequency we're on so that people can hear it if they didn't hear the codec earlier.
That's a good point. Let me. What frequency are you on for CTAF?
I'm still on guard. I can switch back to something else.
Should be 33. Here, I'll tell you what it is. Eh, 33.3.
Okay, I'm slowing down to 180 knots now.
All right.
133. 133.3 or 133?
133.3.
Okay. Rigorian, chat always does this no matter what the fucking length is. I've done 300-mile flights and it happens. I don't care. Honestly, it doesn't matter. That's funny though. It's true, but it's funny. Thanks, Edop. If you want, you can join our Discord and other stuff as well. If you have other questions, that's fine. We'll probably, if you want, we'll chill for a little bit after we're done, and then be done.
Yeah, not too terribly long for me, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. Just a little bit. All right, let's go gear. It's already down. I already put it down early. That's funny. All right, I've never felt more pressured in my whole life. Also, I'm supposed to call up here. Downward traffic, UPS 802, around a 5-mile final runway 35 left. Okay, I'm gonna disengage autopilot here because I think I need to. But yeah, guys, you better hurry up and gas. I forgot to mention it. We're running out of time very quickly. Why is this thing trimmed so awkwardly? It's so weird. Holy cow.
Hey, look, your checklist is incomplete.
Yeah, well, it's the electronic checklist, not the paper one. This is UPS, right? You guys don't use the electronic checklist? I actually do wonder that, and I meant to ask it earlier, but I forgot. But
We'll use the electronic one.
okay. Okay, this is the... I don't know how you're gonna do this and land straight, because this is, like, impossible, I swear. Like, it's so bad. I don't know what's going on with the weather here. It's actually really... Holy cow, what happened here? Oh my god. Ironically... Yeah, what happened? Like, I was centered, and then I just got, like, blown super off course. It's really weird. Like, I'm getting, like, thrown up and down constantly. It's not crosswind. It's not just crosswind. Yeah, what did I get? Alright. That turned out okay. The end. Alright. How far close are you behind me?
I'm at 1,000 feet, so 3 miles. Was I coming through on CTAF?
I didn't hear you. I don't know what's going on with that. It doesn't make sense. Gotta figure that out.
Yeah.
It's okay though. Oh, it's 2:11. You guys need to stop getting on my back. Well, dual cockpit's not really I'm gonna stop here so I can show you guys the landing from Zach here. Oh. Come on. Well, guys, you guys are gonna, if you guys haven't seen POSCON yet, you're gonna love the smoothness. I don't know what's going on with this. I thought I fixed this earlier. So that looks really weird from my... I mean, I guess you were just trying to hit the touchdown zone. I floated a lot more than that. But I don't know if you have... Are you using Active Sky?
Yep.
Because I had, like, very strong wind. Like, very strong wind.
Where are you going?
Where am I going? Well, I had to use like the whole freaking. I used like 2/3 of the runway, so I have to compensate by turning back around.
I see.
If you guys have other questions, we still have to taxi back, and we'll be around for a few minutes, so feel free to ask anything. Hey, Sigvaldison. It was alright, thank you. It's good to see ya. Appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Miniwebs? How are you? Never mind DHS. Okay, I'll let you keep that one to yourself. What's up, P-Bask? How's it going? Yeah, Sigvalson, I'm flying with Zach. I'm flying with the oh, we're flying on POSCON. He's in front of us there because he's better at landing, so he taxied back on a better intersection than I did.
I don't know how good it was.
Huh?
Definitely didn't float.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if part of it's because I'm in a 748. I don't know. Like, I have a lot more weight than you, right? So maybe that caused a lot more problems with the winds.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Thanks, Brian. I'll talk to you later. Rodrigo, you need to sign up at poscon.net to get in the invite pool. That's a good question, Mr. Adam. Did you see that, Zach? You just put it there.
Let's see. I think we have 23, maybe 13 400s, and I think 12 or 13 -8s. I don't know how many -8s.
Oh, and you guys, but a good amount of those are new, right? Those -8s.
Yeah,
anyway.
all the -8s are brand new. They've
you know, we all know landing rates are the check ride passer, right? That's how it works. You got to get the minus 300 or better on this airplane, and they check you out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, have you ever had someone put? Have you ever seen like obviously landing rates? So I bet chat's wondering this, but they feel like it's a dumb question, so I'll ask it for them. So
Yeah.
obviously, like, landing rates are a joke because it's all about like the airplane and all the different circumstances and just like not breaking it. But how does a instructor evaluate like your actual landing in a simulator from like the perspective of like the airplane that you're like, if you're getting a type rating, like if you're learning to fly like the 7.5, like how do they know that you actually like didn't plunk it or whatever?
I mean, it's always touchdown zone and center line on speed. That's the biggest thing. And tail clearance is a big thing. So you don't want to bleed off too much airspeed and float too long and trying to grease it and pull the nose up, because on the Dash 8, but the 767-300 in particular, you know, you can really easily have a tail strike. I think we have a tail strike at ref at 8 degrees pitch up, so you don't want to. No, that's a big no-no. But I mean, landing rates. The simulators don't even tell you a landing rate. They'll tell you a G load. But I've never, you know, everybody lands a sim like crap for the most part. But touchdown zone center line, that's the big thing, you know, because we're doing a lot of times, you know, more than half the landings you do in the simulator are going to be on one engine. So you're
right.
doing a flaps 20 landing, and every landing is with a 20 knot crosswind. So it's, you know, you're just trying touchdown zone and center line with the rudder correction in appropriately, and that's the main thing.
Wait, you mean the time you don't just get to ferry cargo around and chill and, you know, sip some coffee and yeah, deepest side end. Yeah, I know. I just like to bring it up because I just want to debunk the myth of landing rates for once and for all. I only play along with landing rates because people like playing along with it, not because I actually care what my landing rate is, unless I know I like murdered my airplane, then I care about that. But I don't care about like getting a +9. I just react as a joke to it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, greasing an airplane on the runway is a great feeling. There's nothing wrong about being proud of that or whatever, but it's not the, you know, we always joke, you know, you get one flare and everything's about flare and power pull and big jets, you know, it's all dependent on the weight. So every landing's a little different. How quick you pull the power out, how high you flare, and how much you flare and all that. And you get one shot at it. You know, if you flared right, you'll get a great one, and if you didn't, then better luck next time. But there was a question, G58 Baron was asking how high you flare, and that's completely dependent upon weight. 7.4 is probably 30, 35 feet. 7.5, 7.6, you don't do anything until 20 feet, and you don't flare those planes much at all. Really. Those planes are more about how quickly you pull the power to idle.
Storm. Oh my gosh. I always talk about that landing in Tampa where I was like, dang, he was like kind of close to having that be a problem. It was pretty hard. Like I haven't had a landing like that. Like I haven't done that many flights, but I hadn't had one like that. When I went to a Flight Sim Expo, it was hard. Which I thought was ironic because everyone talks about landing rates all the time, and then I'm going to a flight sim convention, and this like guy who's probably flown for Delta for like 20 years like slams the airplane on the runway.
It happens.
And I was there with Zodius, and we were just laughing our ass off.
Everybody, no matter how long you've been flying, is going to have some just horrific landings. I mean, not horrific, but you know, just like, well, screwed that one up kind of.
Oh, by the way, G58 Baron, if you have any other questions and you didn't get them answered here, guys, that goes for all of you. Just join my Discord server. Send me a message in one of the channels or send me a direct message. My DMs are open. I'll reply within 12 to 24 hours. And if you have a question for Zach that comes up later, I'll try and relay it to him later and get a response back. But if you have questions, we are going to wrap up soon, so you might want to ask them now. Oh, if it's about POSCON, that's okay, but yeah, we're going to be ending soon. Well, you or Zach come to cross the pond. I don't do cross the pond, and the number one reason I don't do cross the pond besides boredom is actually because of one of the things that POSCON does that I'm super happy about is the audio normalization across microphones. It's impossible for someone to scream into the microphone and murder your entire input, or to like just have a way overtuned mic volume. So yeah, where do you guys normally park? How do you guys normally do this here?
Just like this.
Oh my god. What the heck? Let me know if I'm in your way.
I'm controlling on POSCON, I think, or I mean CTV cross pond.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zach's a controller at London Center, so. Or it's London Center, right? It's not like approach or something? I don't remember.
London Control.
Oh, London Control, okay. Hey, Sim Caesar, thanks for the 25 bits. Thanks for the kind words. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. And guys, can you give me a favor? Guys, I need a favor. Can I get some clap emotes in the chat for Zach for taking the time to answer your questions and hang out with us tonight? I'd appreciate that.
That was fun, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm always open to it again as well if you ever want to do this again.
Let me know.
All right. It's been a long time since I've actually like flown with someone else in the sim, and I didn't think much of it, but it was kind of fun. All right, let's see if I can do like half as good as you just did. I don't know what the key is though. I'm assuming it's like a visual window queue.
Yeah, it is. You know, when you're doing training in these planes, you'll get an instructor. He'll go out and stand, and he'll show you where the wingtip is and where the main gear is. So you'll have like a visual out the front of the plane where all that stuff's located in relation to your. Man, that's pretty cool. You can actually see like your nose gear compressing when you brake.
Wow, that actually wasn't bad. I'm just not far up enough. But other than that. Sorry, say that again? You can see the nose gear?
Yeah, when you braked, I could see the nose strut compress.
Really? I didn't realize that. That's amazing.
The smoothness of this is just insane.
Yeah, it's been very, very cool to see.
They did a good job. Really good job.
Yeah. I really like the voice too. It's just for some reason we're having some issues with our setup or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I could be doing
maybe on
something
my
wrong,
end with
but if you want to look, that's fine. how I had it up when we were trying before.
Yeah, I heard you transmit on that now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it worked.
You can't hear me right now on it, right?
Oh, it worked.
Wow. Okay. Is it still working?
Yes, it is working.
Okay.
That is awesome and also very strange because I don't think you changed a single thing.
No, I didn't. I didn't touch anything. I'll have to play around with that and see.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to ever do an offline flight and it's like a random weird late time, then we can do that and fiddle with it too, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's gonna do it for us tonight. But thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Thanks for the amazing support. I have some. Oh, does it show doors opening? That's a good question, actually. Can you open your doors? I want to see if it opens.
I'll open the right side cargos here.
What's up, Excel? Yeah, I've been streaming for a while. It's getting kind of late, so I'm gonna wrap it up.
They're opening now, so I don't think it models the door.
I don't think it does. It does some of the other stuff though, like the gears and such. Hey, what's up, Fruit Loop? How's it going? Honestly, I'd be extremely surprised if it did, and I wonder if they're going to do that later anyways, and that's not important right now. I mean, it's a beta, so
I don't think I don't know if P3D exposes that.
Yeah,
status.
actually, that's true. It's probably hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, think about the fact that GSX is always perfect about docking exactly.
No! Oh no! You know it's bad when the real pilots talks about it. You know it's so bad. Yeah. Oh, can you show ghosting really quick? Can you ghost yourself?
Ghosting. I can do that.
Oh, I'm talking about Zach here, who's talking. All right, so guys, so just stay on ghosted for a sec. So I'll just explain ghosting again really quick if you're just coming in at the end. So POSCON basically has a way for people who are new to flight sim, or that, you know, they come in, like I've had a lot of people in the past come into my channel and be like, hey, I'm not really comfortable being on the radio, but I still want to fly with you. Like, I get that. I've gotten that a lot in the past, and it makes doing group flights really hard because, you know, like, what do you say to that, really? Like, there's not really a good solution. What you can do on POSCON is you can do this thing called ghosting. So you saw him disappear, but he's not really gone. What he is he's invisible to everyone else that is flying, but he can still see me. And he can still hear controllers when he tunes frequencies. But what's cool about that is they can fly along. Ghosted people can fly along. Obviously, you can unghost yourself because you're on a ramp right now, so you can unghost yourself. You can't unghost yourself, and like once they launch the ATC side of it, you can't unghost yourself without it being approved by the controller. But yeah, it is used for moderation as well, but the idea is to like facilitate more people getting into learning how to talk on, you know, operate in airspaces, because they have the full experience other than actually talking themselves and getting control, but they can see everything. So like you could get you could get someone to do a flight with you on the network, and they know what they're doing, and you just fly along with them, and you see like every single call, or like see and like hear every single call or whatever. And I don't know what you think, Zach, but I think that's like the best possible way to teach someone like how to like talk on the radio, because it's way more
Oh yeah.
authentic than like anything else, because they're still doing everything in the airplane. They just don't have to like key up and talk.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's a great tool.
What do you think about that for like flight schools, like even just doing it with GA and stuff? Like if you had flight schools like log on to POSCON, like have a, you know, instructor like do basic ATC for people, and then have someone like have someone that's like you know, progressed in their training a little bit, like do the actual flying and stuff, and then the other person can like observe that.
No, yeah, I think that's a great use of a tool like this.
Yeah.
I mean, so much of it is just is hearing all of the terms so many times, you know, and sort of getting used to when to expect, because you get to a point with it where you know what's coming next, right?
Yeah.
You know what part of the flight you're in, and part of being able to understand all that gibberish is knowing what you're expecting, right? Like you don't expect to hear a landing or a takeoff clearance when you're en route. You don't expect to get a Mach number when you're on the ground, so you kind of know what you're listening for, I guess.
Yep. All right, guys. So with that, we're gonna call it here. Thanks again, Zach. Thank you all for watching tonight. Thanks for all the massive support. A few quick shout outs. Thank you for the massive sub gifting. That was insane. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for all of that support tonight. The sub count like got back up to the highest point it's been in a while, so that does help me, and I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you guys to do that. But thanks for just hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the look at POSCON. If there's something I didn't cover, of course, I'm in the beta, so if you guys want, we can, you know, I'll probably just fly on POSCON on stream, since there's no real pressure for doing it right now anyways. So I'll probably just do that for at least for a little while anyway, and just like give more opportunities for people to like see it. And yeah, thanks again, Zach, for coming on. We enjoyed it.
Happy to be it. Thanks for including me.
Yeah, of course. And I'm gonna throw you guys over to who's online? Is there anyone that I kind of haven't seen for a while? Let me go to X-Plane. Thanks, Rygorian. I appreciate it. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot too. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really recognize anyone that. I mean, I guess I could host. Actually, maybe I should do this. Guys, I'm gonna host Jeff. He's flying in over in Europe, and I think he has ATC, so I haven't hosted him in a long time, so I'll go throw you guys over his way if you guys want to say hi and hang out for a bit. But I haven't hosted him for a long time, so I should do that. Like I said, you guys are amazing. Thanks for the support. You always know where you can find me. Find me on Discord. Find me on Twitter, etc. And so my next scheduled stream is Saturday, but with it's spring break still because of what's going on. So I might stream an extra stream if I'm up to it. So yeah, there's always there's always a chance of that. So you'll get notified if that happens. But until next time, thank you so much, guys, for everything. I really appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. And please take care of yourselves. And stay home. But until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.